to unleash the warrior within, tame the beast without.
Seeking their balance and destiny, they transform and transcend disharmony. To get through this darkest hour, transmutation gives them the power. It's an evolution, revolution. It's beast machines. It's a transformation, revelation. It's beast machines. It's an evolution, revolution. It's beast machines. It's a transformation, revelation. It's beast machines. Beast machines. Beast machines.
Coming this fall to Fox Kids.
All next week at 5:30, Johnny Quest packs his bags.
What gives?
And Tsunami goes to war.
We've got a full-scale threat attack!
Open fire! For 1 week only. To your stations, quickly! Beast Wars. All next week at 5:30. Transformers 90s style. Only on Tsunami.
Proximity alert. Proximity alert.
Flash.
The most anime on Saturday outside of Japan.
You just made my day.
Tsunami, The Rising Sun, Saturday from 9 to noon. A day which will live in infamy.
Ladies and gentlemen, over the years, Toonami's given you some of the greatest cartoon shows ever made. Now we're proud to present our newest edition, a program about love, honor, sacrifice, revenge, and a whole lot of destruction. Let's get things started. Gundam Fight all set, ready, go!
I will get rid of them with my own hands.
Your crime shall not go unpunished.
You still haven't figured out my true identity. Let's do it.
Now, fire!
What's happening?
They think of the planet Earth as nothing more than a playground. Prove your worth to the Shaolin Temple. Totally insane. Take this! My love, my anger, and all of my sorrow!
You intend to shoot your own brother?
Will never be forgiven!
G Gundam, premiering next Monday at 5, only Toonami.
Okay, you asked for it.
It's the lion again! Come back to save us! And that old guy's with him!
Hey, stop calling me mister. I told you, I'm only 20 years old.
Success rates are nothing but scientific theory. A brave heart will defy any odds.
Program drive, engage!
Broken Magnum! It doesn't look good. Hell and alive!
Love not good, fear not evil. Premieres March 17th on Tsunami.
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing. Can I count it on? Can I
It's a
count it
total
on?
eclipse of the heart.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, wait, cool.
Everything has its price.
Can I count it on? Can I count it on? 1, 2, 3, 4.
After Colony 196, humanity finally achieves peace. But the ashes of war give birth to a new threat.
We at Colony L3X18999 hereby wish to declare war against the nation.
A child is building an empire to avenge her father.
I will rule the world.
With Gundams at her side, Earth will feel her fury.
Drop the colony onto Earth. Stop this at once.
The remaining pilots will battle each other to stop her.
I'm asking if you guys are doing the right thing!
The endless waltz of war peace, and revolution continues.
See for yourself just how powerless you are.
Roger that. Prepare yourself for Gundam like you've never seen it before.
You will surrender!
A special Gundam Wing movie. Endless Waltz. Friday, November 10th at 5. Suit up again. Only Tsunami. Tsunami's bringing back Saturday mornings. I'm going to show you a little expand. 3 hours of quality Tsunami programming, and it's not even a school day. Starting at 9, you get back-to-back Thundercats.
If we're gonna do it, let's do it.
Then Sailor Moon at 10.
Moon, sky, earth, fire, air, water, rock, star.
The Saturday premiere of Tenchi Muyo at 10:30. The Garlic Jr. Saga at 11. And the Powerpuff Girls at 11:30. The most anime on Saturday outside of Japan. Tsunami, the Rising Sun. Saturday from 9 to noon. A day which will live in infamy.
Reactor engaged. Faction locked. All go.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Let's go ahead and take a nice look at the chat here and see what we got going down. Just let me check something real quick. Boop. Get that out of the way. Or not. I wanted to defy me. How dare you. All right, so first we have a super chat from Dakota Miller for $3. A week of abstinence. Your link was a great start. I don't have a link, though. I'm not really a Legend of Zelda fan. Thank you, Bleaky Iris, for becoming a member again. So, somebody's already caught me up. Housekeeping. Well, house is kind of a mess. So I don't know how much housekeeping there can be, but we're going to take a shot at it, right? So, the last stream I did, I forgot. What was the last stream I did? The dementia is finally getting a hold of me after all these years. That's right, it was Chibi Reviews. So, I've been very tempted, honestly, to do an entire video just bullying the living daylights out of this little weirdo and all of his little pedophile friends, because that is what they are. And I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to be like these other YouTubers that tiptoe around like, well, I'm not saying you are one. It's just weird. No, he is one. Him and all of his little friends are. All right? Especially people like Rev Says Desu, who tries very, very hard to wear some sort of coat of Christianity while justifying and defending predatory stuff and sexualizing of children. Brother, no. That ain't how that works. That'll never be how that works. So, screw all of them. I will fight them in an arena with bottles and chains. I do not care. So, that's one thing. What other things? Well, we obviously have what's going on with the op block right now, and good lord, that is a mess. That is a massive, massive mess, and we're going to get into that. However, before we do, we have a little bit more cleaning to do. A little bit more. And what would that cleaning be? Well, Goat Katau has decided to finally, publicly respond to things instead of hiding behind other people. Now, there's some speculation. They only put this out because Fouchi and the op block are currently under a lot of fire, which is a possibility. I'm not going to decry that. It is definitely a possibility. But let's see what they have to say. But before we get into that, there are some things that happen with the Goat Katau situation that you guys should be aware of, because I don't know how many of you like cross-pollinate with other streamers. So, on a stream ran by our dearest Himpleton, Given Ant hopped on and tried to argue about all this stuff, and then started getting pressed. And when I came on, I just kind of showed up and gave him literally no quarter. I was trying, genuinely trying to be nice, right? And so I wasn't there to yell at him. But he was being stubborn about things. And then it comes out that apparently the reason why he's doing this, whether he wants to admit it or not, is because he's dating Goat Katau. Hence all the simpery, right? Now, to a point, you're going to want to defend your partner. I get that. But there are some times you just can't and shouldn't. To Caperty Pal, do you play Pal World? No, I do not. No, I do not. And yes, you guys do hear Gidget. I can't let her in because I've got stuff on the table that she would destroy or hurt herself about. So I can't let I cannot let the little gremlin in, as much as I do love the little baby kitty. But if you guys reach the goal, I can pull out that video of her. Oh, it was an iNut stream. My apologies. Himpleton was just very strong in it. So if you guys want to see the stream about Given Ant and Goat Katau, go to iNut's channel. iNut's in the comments right now. You can easily click on his stuff and go check that out. As much as he doesn't want to say so, he's a friend of the channel, right? Are you rage bait? Sometimes I am. Sometimes I am. So, things have gotten weird in the space. Lots of shakeups, lots of destruction, lots of people being stupid. So let's go ahead and get into Goat's Addressing Things video. Alright, and I'm going to put it at 1.5 times speed. Just for you guys. Where'd the speed thingy go? There it is.
Hi, my name is Trish, also known as Goat Katau, and I need to address some things.
Actually, no, I'm just going to go to 1 time speed because this is small enough. It's a short enough video. You could say the Goat response video has been in the worst free Fouchi expose. It's only 7 minutes long. What? What? Warhawk for $5. Hey, Lion Man, is your character AOC? If so, what is his weapon? Well, same weapon as I've always been portrayed with, the Sword of Omens from Thundercats, because he is a Thundercat, Sona, because that's the channel mascot, so.
Some of you
don't ask for lore, there is none.
You may not be aware of what I'm about to talk about, but for context, I got myself into a shitload of drama over the past few months regarding Aiden Underground, some Cupid Daddy stuff, and some LioConvoy stuff. I wasn't really sure if I should make a video or a stream talking about it and addressing things, but honestly I feel like a video, whether it revives the drama or not, would probably be the best way to address my fuck-ups and own up to things, because I want to and I also need to. So what happened? So last year, I got myself involved with the whole Cupid Daddy, Yummy Cactus, and Junie Draws drama by covering the situation through streams, and then after I backed out of covering their situations publicly, I reached out privately to the parties involved. It was never appropriate in the first place to try and even get involved with children's drama, and honestly, it just makes me look like a fucking hypocrite given I was shitting on Ponder for doing the exact same thing.
Well, yes and no. I think there can be ways you can properly deal with it. Because if you just let children run rampant, they can cause a lot more damage than you would genuinely be surprised children could. So, yeah, you can't just let them run amok. Sometimes you have to let them learn hard lessons, but you can do it without making content bullying the literal child and giving them a complex. It's a balance.
Understand her intentions and my intentions with getting involved. I'm not their parent, I'm not their guardian, and it was never my place to try and pretend like I could help fix things or try to guide them. It definitely wasn't wise to get involved given just how serious the allegations regarding Cupid Daddy were at the time. If you're confused on what I'm talking about the original videos made on Cupid Daddy regarding Cupid apparently sending a distorted video of Daisy's destruction to their friend server and trying to figure out what it was. I'm not going to rehash all this here. If you're not familiar with the Cupid Daddy situation, there's multiple streams, multiple videos, multiple docs, so I'll link some of those in the description. In my original stream regarding the video being sent to the server, despite stating the fact that it was sent was illegal and bad, I worded myself horribly by calling the situation a nothing burger, essentially downplaying it, given how
essentially downplaying it. Thank you for finally admitting it, because I had to fight every loser on the planet who would come saying, she wasn't downplaying it. She literally said it's a nothing burger. How is that not downplaying it? Yeah, shut up. Shut up, you idiot. That is downplaying it. So I'm glad Goat owned that. Good God. Still a screwy thing to do, but I'm glad they at least owned it.
How I thought that it was an accident being blown out of proportion at the time. I was also trying to be nuanced about the situation, but I acknowledged that me trying to be nuanced about it kind of just ended up coming off as excuses, and I acknowledged that I was majorly blinded.
See, the nuance in a situation like that essentially comes down to, man, what type of things are these kids getting into to where they do crap like this They need to be offline. That's about as far as the nuance goes.
Way too fucking charitable towards them, given their age and my impression of the situation as it was happening, which was idiotic on my end. Then months after the first situation, a week or so before Junie's newest Cupid Daddy document and call-out video was released to the public, I was made aware behind the scenes of new allegations regarding Cupid Daddy sending explicit photos of a 13-year-old to their 15-year-old partner, Safari. I should have just backed out then and there, but I got way too emotionally invested and freaked out. I went to LioConvoy for advice, and we both...
So here it says, Lio, are you free? I said, yee. Sorry, I was meal prepping. And then like 30 minutes later, Goat? I got to go to work. I'll tell you later, TDR. It involves the Cupidite, Junie, and Yumi stuff. I had a call with Junie about it earlier. Cupidite is allegedly to have been involved in collecting and distributing CP or something. And boom. That type of stuff.
Agreed that we should quietly gather information and make reports to the parents and the police.
I got Cupidite side, so I'm posting it here. We can call.
I thought that I didn't have enough evidence to report at the time, but it turns out that the fact that Cupidite confessed in my DMs to sharing those photos with their partner, that was enough. That was...
Yeah, it was. Could have just passed that on to whoever was reporting to the police, because Goat knew them, or do it yourself. Could not have been hard. And yes, I'm well aware that Cupidite did a video about me. They can mauled for all I care. They're a weirdo, and so is everybody who enables them. By the way, real quick segue here. Bean Skies, who tried to take down the stream I did on them, they did a copyright strike on my channel. It fell off a few days ago. They are in Cupidite server talking about drugs. So, you know, real smart person there. So was some weirdo named Amaretta from Malcolm's community, who we bullied once in Senate for allowing like a sex pest to be around kids.
It was enough to report, and I should have reported those messages to Discord.
Oh, also Amaretta kept like the ASMR, sexual ASMR, like a child for blackmail purposes. Hidden Heroine did a video on it the other day. You all should really check it out.
And they're a mandated reporter. Failing to report that was a major fuck up on my end, and I will own that. After some discussion, me and Lio decided that maybe it would be a good idea to have a group chat call with Cupid ID to have a...
So, Goat says, I just added both accounts because I forgot which one needs more. I said, based. Said, yeah, if you want to type out your side and send evidence and stuff when you're able to, Cupidite, that'd be cool. So, Lio, can you get the full picture and so you can explain what's going on, especially with stuff regarding Safari, which I forgot how old he is again. Yeah, I could probably do that next period, next 10 to 15 minutes. Safari 15, turning 16, alrighty. I'm turning 16, 17, Tex is allegedly 13, turning 14. Isn't Tex somebody they claimed was a groomer? I'll have to look into this all more in detail later.
And talk with them. But the next morning when I talked to Ace about everything that happened...
Have you seen Bro's predator hunting career? Lumfow. Look, I like the guy, but F me LOL. So here's the thing. Everybody and their mom says, Lio's a failed predator hunter. In what way? Because I yelled at Rosa, that somehow means I'm a failed predator hunter? That doesn't make any sense. Well, Lio, you didn't put anybody in jail. It's not my job to put people in jail. I'm not prosecution. I'm not the government. I'm not the legal system. I literally just reported the stuff that was given to me. So where's the failure again? Oh, yes, it just makes sensationalist headlines. This is absolutely stupid. So Goat says, we already talked about how this might get twisted into something it's not, but our main issue concern is trying to get Daisy to stop engaging with this online sphere and stop doing the risky crap they're doing. I'd rather an adult try to talk to Daisy sternly rather than trusting a bunch of 16-year-olds with call-out docs. A says, dude, this is so raped, bro. Hate that terminology. Just want to be very clear here.
And everything I knew and what we had planned to do. He explained how bad that would have been for all of us, and especially Lio, given how...
Yeah, they probably won't listen, but I don't know. Lio wanted to talk to them and get their side of what the F is going on. Have a talk with them regarding the stuff that they're doing and how it's dangerous. Whether they listen or not is up to them, but they're very obviously misinformed about quite a bit regarding the legality of shared literal CSEM with other kids. To make that very clear, it's illegal regardless of who you are and what you're doing. You could be 15 sending your nudes to a 13-year-old, illegal. You could be 13 sending it to a 14-year-old, illegal. It's all illegal. Every bit of it. There is no way it is not illegal. Are we clear? Okay. And what if Junie said is true and this happened at least 4 to 5 times, then yeah. Which, like, I get because they're 16 going on 17 right now. No teen is going to understand fully. I don't know. I never had to concern myself with sending nudes to anybody at that age. You know, back when it was still Polaroids. But still, the crap they're doing could follow them for the rest of their life, and it will. And given Junie said there's reports being made regarding something she can't tell me yet, then I don't know. I get that. I know your intentions are good. I'm not doubting that. However, maybe I'm just getting defensive for a friend. Despite being pissed at Lio right now, I just see this being twisted against him in the most malicious way possible, and I don't want that for the guy. Heck, this could backfire on any of you, and I don't want that for any of you, so I apologize for being harsh, but I don't see this going well with the current plan. Oh god, thank you, Baiji, for a very kind super chat. Hey old man, no idea what the stream is about, but just wanted to remind everyone here that ducks sure are neat. Same with pterosaurs. Also true. Thank you, Baiji.
People will literally just go after him for everything, and how people would most likely try to twist things about the situation to have a go at him. So I backed out given that, and given the fact that I was way too...
You know what's funny? That Goat knows this, is acknowledging this, and still tried to target me when all this crap came out. And the funny thing is, with all the stuff going on with OpBlock and Fouchi right now, people are still trying to somehow say it's my fault when I had literally nothing to do with any of it. It's really funny.
Emotionally invested in it, and I told Lio to back out as well. In all honesty, I shouldn't have gotten Lio involved, and if I was going to insert myself into the situation in the first place, I shouldn't have brought anybody else into it with me. For those who are curious on where I currently stand regarding Cupid Daddy, this is going to sound really...
Now here's the funny thing, right? Here's the funny thing. For some reason, some people are trying to twist what Goat's saying here into saying that Ace told them not to report anything to the police. Ace never once said that. At all. Ever. Never once.
mean, and I know that in the past I was majorly...
Soda, what are you talking about? I never talked to either of those people.
Sympathetic to them and their cause, but as I've been digging through things and looking back at things, I think Cupidity is a manipulative liar with a pattern of claiming victimhood while disregarding the harm they caused others. I let too much sympathy for their age and their own past cloud my judgment. You can acknowledge that someone may have been groomed or victimized, but you can't excuse their actions. You can't excuse them from hurting other people. You can't excuse it with, oh, well, I feel really bad because they're just a little kid. Like, no, that doesn't fucking work. And the last time that me and Cupidity spoke to each other in DMs was when she came to me about Noodles. Yes, that Noodles, the Ashley's ex-boyfriend.
Wait, hold on. Didn't Goat tell Ren? Ren, you're in the chat. Dropped an action figure piece, so give me a minute. But Ren, aren't you in the chat? Didn't Goat tell you that they couldn't find the DMs because they closed them, and now I'm looking at them in the face? What?
Friend UTTP guy grooming them, in which I just told them to go to the police and make reports and that I can't help them further than that. I'm not in contact with Cupidity or any of the other minors involved with the situation, and I have not been since October and November. LioConvoy.
I don't know about that one. I've heard other things.
Boy's wife and Aiden. This section is going to be a lot more to the point than the previous one. So for those of you who are unaware of what all happened, back in January, a YouTuber known as Aiden Underground or Aiden Projects apparently got drunk in his Discord server and spammed doxed information of LioConvoy's wife, such as her face and her job, in his public chat. I wasn't present for the doxing, but a few hours later I joined call and I believe it was Dickers who told me about what all happened.
Well, it's a little bit more than just talking trash. It was a little bit more, and framing it this softly is just honestly dishonest. As odd as that may sound to say. Real quick from Baiji for $5. Also look forward to the next Goat Katau where we talk about everyone's favorite terminally online stalker, Saucy Sasu. This is true. 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 So, I want to make something very clear here. I've even seen in Nkumu's stream the other night, like, well, this is because Lio doxes himself. Aiden did not get anything about my wife from me doxing myself. I know exactly where they got it from. Now, I'm not going to give that individual attention because they want that, but it had nothing to do with me doxing myself at all. And to make this very clear to people who get mad about the fact that I do it and saying that it's dumb, it's this, it's that, if you are a drama streamer, pay attention. If you are a drama streamer, you will, not might, not could, you will eventually get doxed. It will happen. When you deal either with drama in itself, or like me, you deal with the worst of humanity at any given time, and you bully predators and freaks, you will get doxed. And if you are scared of that, stop doing drama streaming or stop being a pussy. You don't have a choice. I chose to make sure that any possibility of a win or venom they could have by having that is immediately stolen from them because I do it myself. And to make it very clear, if they are dumb enough to try to do something IRL, one of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to do it online and it will eventually be convicted, or they're going to be dumb enough to show up here and that's where their story ends. That's how that works. Now, some people, I guess, are so terminally online, they think that somehow reaching into somebody's dox information is the killing blow of who they are as a person. If you actually think that, good God, get offline. No, seriously, get offline. That is insane. But no, that is not where Aiden got the information about my wife from. I know where he got it from. And I know who he got it from, too. And I know that he lied about quite a bit, too. So, no, he did not know, Aiden. You did not guess where my wife worked. We both know that's not true. Now, I'm not going to sit here and spend a whole bunch of time about Aiden. I already made it very clear that I forgave him for what he did. But at the same time, brother, you've got to take care of yourself. I've seen some of the things from Aiden's recent streams. He doesn't look like he's slept in, like, years. He has got to chill. Like, he's just got to. But anyways, so now that I'm done ranting about that, if it upsets you that I dox myself, or you think that's somehow a way to victory lap about what happened concerning my wife and Aiden, kill yourself immediately. Kill yourself immediately. No, unironically, go to the kitchen, grab a knife, shove it in your throat, pull all the way left, or if you're feeling real saucy, shove it in your gut and just twirl it around like a drill and go from there. That's all that comes down to. And if that offends you, I don't know. Again, kill yourself. That's a you problem. Ace Space for $5. Everybody say, pour Ace in the chat, please. Just pour Ace in the chat. You will get doxxed. This is true. Lio says he will do it to me all the time, and it's for my own good. I totally do. I totally threaten Ace to dox him. Now, will he tell you why? No, it's because he's hiding something. He's hiding being cringe. All right, continuing.
The photo that Aiden spread around came from me. So for context on that, a few weeks before the incident, me and Aiden were in a VC and he kept making jokes about having sex with Lio's wife. I had recently been given a picture of her and I thought it would be quote unquote funny to show Aiden what she looked like.
Remember, Goat said they got the picture from Frick. So again, Frick, blow your brains out. Drink drain cleaner. Go into the northern part of the United States and find a polar bear and try to body check it. Like, however you die, I want it to be horrific, and I will laugh at you. Because you have done nothing good for anybody anywhere, and people like you serve no purpose.
And so I sent the photo of her to his DMs. Now, I never expected Aiden to go on and fucking dox Lio's wife, but regardless of what I expected...
You were told by Dickers that Aiden is saying unhinged things. You know that Aiden was so obsessive about me, and I know now why he was, and I'm not going to make fun of that. That's abhorrent. You knew he had that capability. Truth is, you just didn't think he'd get caught.
Regardless of my intentions behind it, it was still fucked up. Because Lio's wife isn't an online figure. She had nothing to do with this, nothing to do with Lio's drama, nothing to do with my drama, nothing to do with Aiden and his whole campaign against Lio. She didn't deserve that, nor did Lio deserve to have his wife's privacy violated like that, and I am remorseful for that. I don't expect forgiveness for that, but I am sorry, and I do regret it. It won't be happening again, regardless of who it is, what it is, or why, or how. You don't...
Well, the thing is, while I will, of course, forgive Goat, because I kind of have a requirement to do so, this isn't honest. I'm sorry, but it's not. And Goat, you know it's not. Now, I'm not going to tell you to do what other idiots have tried to do with me and say, I'll redo the video. I don't expect that. All right? I don't. But also, at the same time, I need to make this very clear. If you go around, right? And to be clear, Aiden did something I've never even done, right? I've never sat there and threatened somebody with, like, their wife's information to try to get them in call with me. That's actually insane. But when you do that, what you are signaling is that it's okay for people to do it to you. That is what you are telling people. That you have now changed the standard. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later when we finally get into the outblock stuff. But when you change that standard, you then justify it being done to you. So, let's continue. And thank you, BFMA, for $2. Literal shot peeked your face. Yes, yes.
You don't play around with people's personal information like that. When the whole situation was first blowing up, I freaked out and I didn't handle myself or what was going on well at all. I ran to other creators, some of...
Crow's Caw for $20. Take my money, Lee, old man. Your streams make for great background audio for drawing. Well, thank you very much. I hope your drawing goes well.
Which were my friends, and I tried explaining my side of the situation over and over and over, when in reality, I should have just addressed what was going on myself rather than running all over the place, freaking out instead of thinking rationally or being mature about it all. I've chilled out about most of what's happened now, and I'd be lying if I said I'm not embarrassed by my behavior, especially, oh my god, especially the blood is on your hands shit. But going forward, I'll try to be more professional about how I am when I handle situations, and if anything, if shit gets too much, I'll just take a step back and disengage if I'm too emotionally unstable during the moment. And I'm not gonna pull my mental health card, this excuses everything. But I am bipolar, and when I get stressed, it's very easy for me to freak out and spiral about things, which isn't healthy. And
so I'm gonna go ahead and just have the hot take here. If you know that's a problem, here's what you do. Okay. You take, if you're on a computer, you take your mouse and you go to the top right-hand corner and you click the X on everything that's feeding you this nonsense. And if you're on a device, you do whatever you need to pull up that app and you close the app and you turn off the device. Very simple solution to dealing with stupid crap on the internet. Not that I'm saying what Goat went through was stupid. Goat got blowback for the right reasons. But, oh my goodness, people are being mean and it's stressing me out. You can close the app. The people attempt to be mean to me all the time. Usually it blows up in their face, or they're nowhere near as clever as they think they are, and I just bully them. But if I was going to that degree of, well, this hurts my feelings, I'm just going to close the app. Good God. A-Space with the $5. Lio denied a boxing match with me because he is scared of my pure strength. No, I denied a boxing match with you because I'm outside your weight class and you are scrawny. You are a tiny, scrawny little thing. Do you want to die, Ace? Please do not. It's like challenging Butterbean at this point. You might as well.
It only fuels the drama and digs a further hole for myself. Freaking out and writing paragraphs.
And no, Jar didn't accept the boxing match because he's a pussy.
To creators about the situation over and over and over helped nothing and only fueled my instability in the drama itself. And like I said, I should have just made my own fucking response. Now, I know some of you people are probably wondering why it took me so long to even...
Good for you, Chuli. Did I miss Chuli? I'm not seeing her here. I don't know who you're talking or why you're talking to. Oh, there she is. Hi, Julie.
Make this response, but I just kind of wanted to make sure that I was in a stable mindset and I was able to look back and rationally think about and reflect about it all. I mean, I'll eventually come back to making content and streaming if and when I find topics that like actually interest me, but in the meantime, I'm probably just going to be in chats, doing my own thing. I'll try to find a few streaming topics or something because I do want to come back. I just don't know necessarily how or what to do. I'm not too sure, but despite all the shit I got myself into and everything that's happened, I'm gonna keep going and I'll try to behave more appropriately and be a mature fucking adult instead of being a spur. There's one last thing I would like to say before I end this video, and that's...
So now they're owning the bike meme. So, okay. Frankly, I think it's gotten to a point where Goat doesn't need to be handling literally any drama-related thing. If they are that despondent about these things, they really shouldn't be involved. Like, you have to have at least something of a clear head on your shoulders when you deal with drama one way or another. Yeah, there are things that are going to piss you off, there are things that are going to upset you, but you got to be able to internalize it instead of immediately rushing and acting rash, right? That's something even I learned a long time ago. You can't just immediately react to things. Sometimes you just got to let it play out. Baiji for another $2. Lio can't box anyone right now. He still has to box Loon. Poor Loon. Poor Loon. They'll never make it to 30. So, moving on finally, now that we're half an hour in, I guess 20 minutes, because, 7 of it was commercials. Now we are into the op block stuff. So, and yes, everybody, Chuli was able to finally move into their own place, so 07's in chat for Chuli, because that's always good to get out on your own. The Fouchi stuff has been brewing behind the scenes, under the surface, apparently since August. Fouchi has made no small shortage of mistakes, and there are a lot of people covering it right now. Everybody in our sphere is covering it. I think Chuli might eventually, but we've also had K-Huck, Yin, Himpleton, of course. So all these people are covering it, right? So now I decided I'm going to. A-Space, again, for $2. I will box anyone, even if it's a loss, because funny, I don't know, man. It's a dangerous way to do it. Loon, it's a miracle I'm making it to 23, Lamau. Well, miracle end, but you do owe me a fight. But, some people are being very vitrolic to Fouchi, and I'm not going to sit here and tell them they shouldn't have a right to do so. I'm going to try not to get angry when it comes to this stuff, because I already know, for the most part, what's going on in terms of some of these things here. But to also be clear, I'm not going to browbeat Fouchi directly. I'm not even going to be too harsh on the stream. I'll give the same opinions in public that I've been doing in private. But I also told people that once his response was out, I'd cover it. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And BFMA for $2. Would you box me if only half my body works? No. That's what sport fencing is for. So this all started in terms of like the downfall when it came to this mod call. Now, Fouchi has always ran his channel the Op Block. If you'll notice, it's not called Fouchi's Fancy. It's not called Fouchi's Funhouse. It's called the Op Block because it was supposed to be a collaboration attempt or collaboration work with multiple creators, right? And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's how you want to run your channel, you go right for it. Heck, Planet Dolan did it for years before it died. So did other people. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. The problem is Fouchi got a bit of a big head about it. And eventually, this is what happened with the mod call here, where he removes several key members of the mod staff and makes it very clear they will no longer be appearing on the very same channel they helped him build. All right? And that's what we're going to look at now. Now, we're going to go ahead. And yes, there's other things Fouchi did too, and I will talk about them briefly, but I'm primarily, for the people he's affected, who have talked about him, I'm going to direct you to them. So, Fouchi apparently gathered Himpleton's docs, his personal information. He told Himpleton something incorrect about the reason why he did it. If you want to know that, the full story there, you need to go talk to Himpleton or look at his stream. You need to. Because he's the affected party. Ember of the World 2.0. Lyle, would you boss me over my opinion that Rise of the TMNT was really good design for the turtles alongside silhouettes? No, because that's just true. Do you regret him being on call a few streams ago? Well, no. I mean, yeah, he screwed up, but that doesn't mean I'm going to, like, cover his tracks. He has... Look, the one thing I will give this entire drama is there's one plus to all of this. Like, a true plus. Because, obviously, hurting people is not a true plus. Disparaging people who helped you is not a true plus. But the only true plus here, none of this involved any freaking kids this time. Okay? Finally. Finally. Alright, so, let's listen to this.
Alright, I guess. I'll just disconnect real quick. Alright, so I just wanted to talk real quick, just because there's like some changes in the Discord, things like that. Just want to kind of discuss it real quick. Currently, we have enough mods, so I am going to make the decision to start relieving people of mod duties, because I don't think the ops and other staff things need to be doing mods. So we're going to be shifting things around, because like priorities have shifted, stuff like that, and we have a dedicated mod team. So you guys don't have to mod anymore, and we're just going to shift some things. So when it comes to that, so we're going to be just alleviating mod roles. So if you don't see the mod team stuff, that's pretty much why. It's probably easier. Cloudy is in charge of the Discord anyways. That's been her role for a period of time, and B has been very gracious to set up the bots. Zaint has been on top of it as well. Salt has been on top of it, and Potato has been actually fucking great, tracking a lot of the shitters and stuff like that come from other circles and things like that. So we're gonna be doing that. So if you guys see things transition out, that's pretty much why. We created a staff role, obviously. So if there's any staff stuff like the editing or YouTube thumbnails that we do in that Discord, it's gonna be there. Obviously, if stuff and research happens in this Discord, still gonna exist that way moving forward. So you're gonna see things like shift around and all that nonsense. I also believe, if I remember correctly, for people who have individual channels, like I know Q, you, and Ash have talked about doing individual channel stuff, and kind of bringing back the cynical report. Your stuff's still going to be open, your stuff's still going to be there. Certain perms will just change, it's just kind of the way it is, but we're just trying to consolidate parts of the Discord a little bit better, so we kind of separate how things work. You know, it's just kind of how it is. Everyone has new responsibilities, and things that kind of take precedence over that.
Okay, so there were better ways to go about doing this. Well, what were the better ways? Believe it or not, we actually did it better in Senate. So when we were removing somebody from mod for things like they weren't a horrible person, they hadn't done something wrong, but like they didn't have the time for it anymore or whatever, they had essentially a nepotism role. And what that did was it allowed them to, in a pinch, mod if they needed to, but also gave them access to the back rooms to look at stuff. Again, it was nepotism. It allowed them all the favors without the responsibilities. There are ways you could have gone about doing that would have hurt a lot less feelings than this, especially when they helped you build your channel.
If there are responsibilities that you no longer want anymore, due to either personal responsibilities, or like you're just not feeling it anymore, please let me know. I don't fucking, like, realistically speaking, friendship is paramount over staff responsibilities, but the reality...
If friendship's paramount and these people were your friends, then there is no but. That's it. There were several ways to work around this, and Fouchi failed to.
The reality is that I would like to take the channel in a more positive trajectory, as well as a more professional trajectory, and regardless of that...
Okay, I need to make this very clear. Guys, what is it that we talk about here in these spaces for the most part? Begins with a D. Type it in chat. What is it the thing that we most talk about here? Regardless of what the actual horrible thing is, we always use one specific encapsulating word. What is it? Yes, Julie, the bird's here. I'll wait for the chat to catch up. Redheaded Tuber got it right first. Drama. We talk about drama. Now, there are things that we call drama that we really shouldn't, but it's the catch-all word, and that is what is used in this community. So, do you guys know what the professional standard for covering drama is? Do any of you actually know? Think about it. Because it's not the local news. That is not how they handle drama. Think about it. What is the professional marker for drama? Who did it longer than probably anybody, and everybody watched him? It was a show on network television. What was it called? Then again, I'm also talking to probably people that are half my age, so who knows? Maybe they don't know what I'm talking about. We'll find out. We'll find out. I'll give it another 10 seconds to see if anybody knows. Myriad Hughes got it right, and everybody else is following. Jerry Springer, The Springer Show. That is, without question, the professional standard for drama. That is the professional standard. Bloodsports has not had dick all on The Springer Show. None of these people have, but that is the technical professional standard for drama. You cannot approach proper drama in a way that's like super ultra mega clinical, that is going to be the utmost in terms of journalism and integrity. You're not always going to. In fact, you're very rarely going to. Why? Because people on the internet are unhinged. Because they are not showing their face or their real name, their inhibitions are much lower. They're going to do more unhinged things than even people in the Jerry Springer Show did. And sometimes you just got to react to it the right way. Sometimes dealing with a freak comes down to bullying them and mocking them and hoping they kill themselves. You don't have to sit there and put your papers together and be like, I need to have a serious conversation with you about your actions here and how they affect others today on Unsolved Mysteries. That's not how that works. All right? So it always, pisses me off when somebody says, oh, you need to be more professional. Look at who the professional standard is. I'm sorry, but that's not how this works.
If it affects friendships and relationships, I'd rather just nip it in the bud and say, hey, thank you for being around kind of thing. Thank you for doing what you do. Take the responsibilities you want. Don't take the responsibilities that you don't want.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. So some things are going to change. And that's like...
You know, what specifically is going to change? Is there anything that we need to change or that we need to...
Everything on the Discord side...
I'm looking at the man in the mirror, asking him to change his ways.
Cloudy myself will take care of, so you don't have to worry about that. So none of that stuff is going to actually change. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if Cloudy has anything to say on it. I don't know if you guys want to have discussions about it. We can.
Fabi says the Robert Stack voice is pretty good. Not gonna lie. Well, thank you. You have to understand that voice terrorized my entire generation. If you heard that voice on TV, things were going to get scary because you didn't know dick all about the real world, buddy. All you know is that now there's aliens, murderers, and monsters, and you don't know where you live compared to them.
I'm good with the amount of editing I've been doing and the occasional thumbnails. So how it is for now. If anything changes, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately for me, I'm gonna get
that background noise. I'm not sure if that's a kid or a parrot. And I don't know which one's funnier.
Into editing, I'm going to get into thumbnail stuff so I can start doing it. Big reason for me is I need to learn how to do it. It's got to be done. I have to be able to do this just in case one of you is gone, or the eventuality someone says, hey, I want to step away from the channel, and that's completely fine. But I got to learn how to do the other stuff that I wasn't previously doing. So that's the big reason why I'm learning editing. I'm back in the thumbnail game for that specific reason. So if you guys aren't around, either work stuff, house stuff, life stuff, that's perfectly fine, and I pick up the slack. That's why I'm trying to do them a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a kid. I'm going to pretend it's a bird because that makes me happier. Because, dude, there's just something weird about being in a Discord call where you're losing your moderation job and your child is in the background. That's just uncanny.
Good, yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much just how it's going to be. If you guys have questions, concerns, things like that, let me know. Say your piece now so we can kind of figure it out.
I've already separated stuff. So all the D&D stuff is its own category. I have the staff stuff, or like wherever you put thumbnails in its own little area. So all the perms and everything should be set to that you guys still see that stuff. I'll just adjust the mod rules. And honestly the only person that had mod was KJ. I didn't expect Ash or Q to do anything about it, but it's just one of those things like I just need to lock some things down. And I just want this to be a little bit more efficient because I've started looking at how other bigger, like really big Discords run things, and I like how they do them. And so we're just gonna set that up.
That sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really have much in a way to add except is there anything I can do to help, or is it all being taken care of? Because
Lio is a bird owner. That's a dog. Dogs ain't making that squeaking noise. I've had birds. I've had parakeets, and I've had cockatiels. And then the next door neighbor, for a while, had a frickin' macaw. I look over its fence, and it called me a cracker. I do not miss that bird being next door. He would not shut up. At 4 in the goddamn morning.
It's all been taken care of.
Yeah, that was my assumption because,
B stepped in and unironically said, fixing the Discord is my autistic fixation. Please let me do it.
Yeah, I haven't talked to them at all, and all I see is all the bots and stuff that they.
Yeah, she unironically said,
again, it's something it's something that I've been handling. So no, I took it to heart when I was I don't know. I didn't want to push anything else on you guys. I feel like I did enough damage, so I took care of things.
You didn't do any damage.
Yeah, what damage?
Don't worry about it. Like I said, at this point, it's just kind of like I got it. If I need anything from you guys can DM me. If perms don't work after I adjust things, please let me know. Everything should be working fine though.
Okay, a couple things. French bulldogs can make baby noises. Is it ho ho ho? And Chuli says bird on white crime. Hey! It should have called me a Ritz cracker. All right, they're slightly darker than a regular saltine.
I worked on the bots, and she taught me how to do some more stuff with the Carl bot.
Yeah.
And once the D&D stuff gets running, I'll make threads and stuff just for the games. So
yeah, and I think once the D&D stuff happens, I'll roll out a Patreon. So what will happen is then I'll have B work with me to integrate the Patreon into memberships as well as Patreon stuff. So that will have its own like private section of the server versus all the other stuff. Obviously, those things take time. Get that integration set up because it is a pain in the ass, but we'll be there. Obviously, like the other stuff too is, listen, if there's a part of this channel that you can't fulfill because of personal obligations or recreational obligations or workplace obligations, it's fine. Just kind of be honest with that. I'm okay. The reality is I'm going to take this channel a lot more seriously than everybody else because it's my face, my name, my brand. It's just the reality of the way it works. As much as hardy small business tyrant, yada yada yada. I've heard it 1,000 times, but the reality is like I throw my hand in the shit every time. So
you could remove that issue by actually bringing your co-hosts on more. But again, this is all hindsight. I'm talking to a Fouchi that no longer exists. Also, imagine if a macaw just called you a beaner. I'll tell you what, chat. One in the chat if you want to hear a story where that slur was used in my life. I can't remember if I've told you guys that or not yet.
Oh, I want to tighten things up because the events that took place after the fallout with Sai and Sai, Lio, people like popping into the Discord, shit like that. I want to tighten it up a little bit better because.
Okay, so I need to make this very clear. The Sai stuff, people in our spaces act like it was their personal Vietnam, that Sai was being an unhinged lunatic and they had to cut her off. You guys all should have seen that as an immediate blessing because that woman is insufferable. She is a freak, and the fact that we somehow shifted the concern away from she's letting children access porn and giving them a link to child sexual fiction, and then made it about truces and neutrality, instead of just coming down hard on her and her little white knight Malcolm for defending her, because that's what he was doing. He was obfuscating to get that heat away from her. Guys, that was embarrassing. And the fact that people wanted to play neutrality on that is something they should all be ashamed of. Unironically. And I'll stand by that, and I've told them that to their faces before. Alright, so we have a bunch of ones here. Okay, so it wasn't directed at me. And I don't know if I've ever told this story. Many, many years ago, in the long ago called the 90s. I can't remember if it was 96 or 97. But I was in my bedroom on the second story. Thank you, Ace, for the $5. Never liked Sai. I was confused why she was even given a chance to be honest. I think it's because her channel was growing, honestly. And because she's connected to people nobody else wanted to fight, because reasons, I have no problem with it. I'll swing at anybody. But anyways, in the days of the 90s. And I'm in my room, at my desk, drawing or whatever on the second floor. And I notice movement out my window, because whenever I have a drawing desk, like, with the exception of my office now, because it's facing to where the sun comes in onto the desk, but I tend to have it face the window. It's just nice, right? It's just nice. And this older man from right across the street, the house right across, is walking to our house with 2 coffee mugs in his hand. And my first thought is, why, right? Because I don't know this guy. He gets 2-hour driveway. And I have to make this clear. This is like 7 o'clock in the morning. All right, I wasn't downstairs watching cartoons yet because the ones I liked weren't on yet. And I hear this man at the top of his lungs in this very, very public neighborhood say, "Hey, Beaner, I got a cup of coffee with your name on it." Now, despite my complexion, I am in fact Hispanic. If you look at my old man, if you ever find a picture of him, brother, that man is dark. And my first thought was, well, I can see a homicide today, because my old man has never taken well to racial slurs, never really used them himself. He said other unhinged things. But I hear the front door open, and my old man is trudging out to meet this man, and immediately starts laughing and having fun with them, and I am so confused out of my mind. Because I've never heard, at that point, anyone speak to my old man like that. And keep in mind, my old man was contentious, even, like, outside of the household, to a point where one of his subordinates once tried to put a bomb under his car. That's a story for another time. But, and later on I find out that neighbor, his name was Mr. Ken, he was in the Air Force, but somehow him and my old man knew each other from both being in the military during Vietnam. And somehow wound up in the same neighborhood right across from each other. And that's the type of friendship they had. He would call my old man a slur, and it would be absolutely fine. And I've never understood that. I've never understood that. So there's your Beaner comment, okay? Okay? All right, let's continue.
Because our Discord is not, it's not Logic's Discord, it's not Aiden's Discord, it's not Malcolm's Discord, it's not Sai's Discord, it's our Discord, it's my Discord. You know, it's the thing where...
Also, I forgot to mention when we were looking at all this stuff, he talked about people coming in and all that. So, when Aiden first started obsessing over me, I was just hanging out in Fouchi's Discord, literally just hanging out. Just hanging out. And people would come in trying to pick fights with me, like Morale, that weirdo, or Purple Perry, that also weirdo. And Fouchi asked me to leave, citing that more people would come in and cause issues, and he didn't want me to be there because it would cause problems for his chatters. Now, I obliged by that, or abided by, rather. Sorry, I've been recording voice lines all day. My tongue's all twisted up. So, I abided by that because it's his rules, his server. However, the truth of the matter is, if you have people coming in to give grief to somebody who has never done anything to you, or the person's not actually hurting anybody, don't be a pussy. Kick the freaks. Kick the freaks. It's not hard. It's 2 clicks of a button. But that's what he's referring to here, and the people coming in and all that. Now, there were other reasons that were given later on. Like, one thing I will be talking to Fouchi about at some point, once he's taken some time off, is there were 3 individual, now 4, reasons I was given for being asked to leave. One was, well, people were going to come in and mess with you and we don't want that trouble. The second was, well, Lio doxes himself. We can't abide that, which apparently his entire staff was very confused why that was even a point at all. The third one was because I upset Reena B. And we're going to talk about her. That's going to be some funny stuff. The fourth one I just recently found out was several of his mods were apparently telling him to essentially treat me like nuclear waste. And I've had some of this verified. And here's the thing. You should be able to make your determination of people from your own encounters with them, barring, of course, predators. Just essentially bending the knee to whatever your friends say just because your friends are saying it. Be an individual. Just be an individual. It's not that hard. Have some stones. Continuing.
That place is for people to relax and chill. If they want to discuss drama, they can. They openly do. I've discussed this before, and I made like a post. When it comes to certain threads, we're going to be archiving certain threads and locking them down. Big reason being is I don't want it to become like an A-log space, specifically like Malcolm's server, where a lot of people were fucking poking at the lol cow farms, and they got a lot of heat for it, from what I understand. Obviously, what else? Other things too. This is going to obviously be a thing, but just remember, because it's going to happen more often, as I realized, you don't have to speak for me.
Who cares if the chatters are messing with people? Here's one thing that I constantly come into conflict with, right? A lot of people say, well, nobody should direct hate towards the chatters. We shouldn't respond to chatters when they get out of hand. My value has been and always will be, talk crap, get smacked. If you're a big enough boy to run your mouth, you're a big enough boy to get punched in it. So I demonstrated that when I did that 3-part like shorts thing on Timidog, because he was a weirdo who constantly ran his mouth. And that's going to be my consistent standard. I don't care if you're a creator or not. If you run your mouth and I catch you, I'm just going to bully you. And that's the best way to deal with idiots like this, because if they're a chatter, they think they're untouchable. You can't let them think that. Because the minute they think that, that's when they start causing more problems.
You don't need to defend me. If
Hello, M1.
Somebody in another Discord you're in has a problem with the way that I do content, and they go, well, why are you friends with them? Why are you working with them? You can literally say, go ask them yourself. Don't.
Or you can just answer the question. I know he's trying to say, well, I don't want anybody to get attacked over me. Okay. You're all adults. Act like it.
Don't ask me those questions. I'm not going to answer for them, nor am I going to explain how they do things. A lot of people are going to try to catch you, like, this is what happens. A lot of people try to catch you into a conversation about that shit, and that shit gets spread around. And that's the reality. That shit's going to get spread around. There are other eyes and other Discords, and that shit gets forwarded to whomever, and I'm not, like, saying specifically, but, like, it gets forwarded, and eventually I will hear about it, kind of thing.
Okay.
So just don't fucking engage with it. It's not worth it.
Okay, but I never had that happen.
Yeah, but it will start. It'll start because people are looking.
Well, yeah, and we already got an issue with Lord Rush doing what he's doing and shit.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna inform people.
I don't know anything about going on about Lord Rush. The guy's always been kind of weird. So if you're gonna ask me what happened with Lord Rush, I have no clue.
With it later. It is disappointing. There's nothing we can do about it. It is what it is. This is what happens when you gain an audience. The parasociality does come into play, and you either have to nip it in the bud, which will happen. It's already being taken care of, or more importantly, you just kind of got to deal with it. So it's already been nipped in the bud. It will continue to be nipped in the bud.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things that I've already taken care of it, and I will continue to do so. Just, if you hear things or things are affected by, honestly, the only thing you three really need to worry about is just the D&D stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that that's a bright, shiny role for you guys, and then just whatever, because we obviously still have this Discord, and I'm not inviting anyone new here. That is what it is.
Okay.
So yeah, just focus on D&D stuff as it gets going. Blue is nearly done with all the stuff. She kind of just updates me. She hasn't shown me anything, but she just kind of updates me. I think she's working on cats right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you guys just focus on your own channel stuff and focus on the D&D stuff, that'd be great.
Lord Rush, from my understanding, is just a degenerate freak that needs to understand boundaries more. Maybe, but I haven't seen any data on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the Lord Rush stuff, again, it's annoying.
It's a very funny story, actually, not in a good, funny sense. Always the funniest thing is he admitted to his ex he wanted to doing your mom do. His mom or her mom? Fishy? Whose mother? Because that's going to matter a lot. Whose mother? Oh God, why? TLDR, from what I've heard, he wanted to NSFW his own mom. Why? Look, man, I'm into older women, but no. No! Why? Why? Number one, why would you do it? Number two, why would you tell anybody?
It's disappointing, but it is being handled.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, reality speaking, this is not unlike the Rotsvoy shit, and I will publicly embarrass somebody.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's not unlike the Rotsvoy shit. She used my name a lot to get into places. It bit her in the ass, and so she starts talking shit behind the scenes. So that's just how it is. And that's pretty much it. So things again gonna be readjusted.
Thank you, Starbird, $4.99. Imagine telling the guy caused no trouble to leave and keeping all the toxic jerks to pick fights and want to start trouble. True.
Some priorities are going to be readjusted. It is, again, the D&D area is going to be refocused, and not necessarily refocused, but reconfigured specifically. So like that is there because obviously that's everybody's main focus at this point behind the scenes.
Yeah, as I said, it's already separated, and all the perms should be working and stuff. So that's fine. I'm trying to think. I did. Oh, I did drop out of the one shot I was going to be doing. I just don't have time.
Yeah,
I just don't have time. I already personally paid for, because I wanted a full body character sheet, so I already personally paid Blue, and I'm probably gonna pay her some more just for the talking sprites because they look really good. So I'll be using those for my own stuff. But I'm just, I did drop out of the game, so that.
Ace for $5. That's how I felt when you brought up the guy on Hippie Stream that was attracted to Paw Patrol guys. Dogs deserve. No. Okay, I think there's a bit of a difference between a freak interested in Paw Patrol characters sexually, which again is its own level of degenerate, and he needs to die, and a dude wanting to diddle his own mom. All right, there's a bit of a difference. Also, we're one away from the goal. We ain't got much longer on it, so if you want to see the Gidget, hit the goal.
That is what it is. I really just genuinely don't have the time.
Yeah, and I'm sorry it took so long. I know people's life situations changed.
Yeah, I mean it happens. It happens. There were snafus. There were things. I'm happy that Majunga got their whole PayPal paying situation fixed, so I can start like.
Majunga.
I'm just gonna start throwing.
Her name is Majunga.
Yeah, as long as,
Majunga sounds like a racial slur. What the heck?
As long as Fouchi keeps getting what he needs to, so he can finish paying off the artists. Like that's why we're pressing so hard for donos and stuff. But I don't have anything else. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we're good. So moving forward, roles are gonna.
Jeez, I'm sorry. D. I can't read that. That you're getting so much ad rolls. Ace, it has to be over $5, but thank you for the 2. Then thank you again, also Beef May for the tour. But it's got to be over $5 apparently. The Corn Lord demands the cat and show. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
The change doesn't change anything. Again, if you have obligations and like. Hey, listen, I don't care about the recreational obligation shit, but or personal obligation shit. But kind of just be honest about it. Makes my life a little bit easier.
Like I said, if I can't do something 1 week or something, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I think I would like to be able to do more or help more if I could.
We have enough. I'm being like absolutely serious.
All right, so Ace says, "Oh God, sorry, Starbird for $2. Freud is trying to game over a second time. True." Fauci pulled a Cindy Bear apology, and not necessarily true. Ace for $5 show, thank you. Cross Crow for $5 show the creature, thank you. Bomberman 3001 for $2. Hag maxing for the win, true. Lucky M for $5. Fight me in the Waffle House filled with cookies, old man. Budgie Pudgy for $5. Give us the floofy poof. Give us. Okay, you've reached the goal. Okay, let me get to it. Goodness. All right, we have another goal now. If you want to see that again, good lord, you guys are incessant about the beast. I will make more of those just for the goal chat because I'm not going to do like a fancy animation. I ain't got the time or the skill for it. But the chat likes the Gidget, so the cat gets the Gidget.
We have enough help.
Yeah, you got the mods, and I was like, oh, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, we have enough, and we have people who are really enthusiastic and really want to do this stuff. I kind of want to loop back to what I said before. I really took it to heart when you guys said I was being kind of really pushy about like the channel stuff and pushy about moderating and pushy about the X, Y, and Z. And I realized that my mistake with that was I should have just asked if you wanted to do it in the first place. And I realized looking back on it, I never did that. I just assumed that you wanted to do it. So I corrected that. I am not going to ask you guys. Again, we have enough. I have everything I need for right now. If I do need your help, I will DM you. But as of now, you guys just focus on your own games, your own channel, the D&D stuff. I know it's going to go really well once it's all put together. I'm genuinely very excited. I dropped out, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to watch. I'm like I said, I'm really hyped for the game. Yeah, like I said, I took it to heart and I adjusted. So everything's gonna be good. I found someone who's really good with bots and who can help me hammer down some of the shitter stuff. So we're good.
Yeah. Do y'all still want me doing research for you guys?
That's again, that is completely up to you. That's something that you still want to do.
I still enjoy it. I don't know if I'm meeting your guys' expectations with that.
I mean, listen.
There hasn't been a big thing or anything to to point you towards that recently.
Deep dive needed for anything.
There's no real deep dive and stuff like that. The one thing I will say is just kind of be realistic.
Does Gidget count as the official, unofficial channel mascot? Yes.
Are you okay? Okay. Yeah, that's okay. I'll be blunt. You guys, I love you guys. You guys are my friends. But the reality is that our time obligations have changed. As happy as that makes me, that has expanded our friend group. That also affects certain parts of the.
He says they should have just fired them. Why are they sidestepping around it? This is so cowardly, bro. Yeah, kind of.
Channel, and that's fine. But that's the whole point of getting other people available, because like specifically for mod stuff and things like that, it's been nice having some of the newer mods as well. Because people like Zaint, Salt, and Potato know shitters that I don't ever know.
And they're up at all the crazy times.
Yeah, these are people that go from commentary hell, like the people that will just dox you for fun, all the way to the biggest channels around. And these fuckers are everywhere. So
look, you can either be hands rated E for everybody, or you can be a pussy. There's no in between. Pick a lane.
We have a nice mix of mods who are everywhere to mods who are just focused on us. So I think that's fine. When it comes to research, like just, things.
You see, my mods are just full of autism, and that's how we handle things.
Things like that is there's nothing to really point us at yet. If that does come a time in place, we will do the same thing that we've always done. We will point each other, and we will try to do the best that we can. Again, the channel just has to run when I'm at work, because this is not my full-time job.
Yeah.
Like, truthfully,
it's none of our full-time job.
Yeah, I know. And I still have school obligations and shit like that, so
Yeah.
My question is, I guess it's more for me, it might also apply to Ash, I'm not sure. Is there a number of streams in which you'd like us to be able to co-host?
No.
Because that's kind of like my thing right now, is I'm relegated to co-host when I can.
There's no, as it stands, if you are available, you are available. If you're not...
Firing hidden, it has to be done well. I mean, they are German.
You're not.
Okay, I know, I just...
What?
Am I allowed to co-host?
Are you still working for Malcolm? Straight up.
Fucking no.
Okay, so they said, am I allowed to co-host? Fouchi says, are you still working for Malcolm, straight up? And Ash responds, no. Now, here's the thing. I have watched, and you can see this on Yin stream, because I show up and I argue with people. I have seen multiple people get super mad about Fouchi drawing the line in the sand about somebody who works for him also working for Malcolm. Now, I've had people tell me that it would be different if I did that because of personal beef. I don't think that should be the standard. Here's the thing. I am not going to show whatever you just sent me on the screen. I refuse to, Fish. I refuse! I haven't looked at it yet either. I'm going to finish my thought here. So, here's the thing. When you run whatever, whenever, if it's something you're in control of, if it's something that belongs to you, you have the right to work with or not work with whomever you darn well please. It doesn't matter. If I decide that I don't want to work with, I don't know, I'll just pick on Loon in a chat. If I decide I don't want to work with Loon because Loon did a drawing I didn't like, that is 100%, which never happens, by the way. With any children involved? No, thank you. Thankfully there wasn't. But anyways, if that is my standard, get over it. Because here's the thing. In the real world, yes, they will refuse to work with you if you work with a competitor or if you are compromised. I have to sign paperwork every year to make sure that I abide by that rule. Not even a non-compete. That's a different matter altogether, all right? But just, hey, you're not going to be essentially working on something else that could detract from or get away from our aspect of the business. And that is, and I will repeat, that is fine. Fouchi did not go around telling everybody else in the community to not work with Ash. They did not go around saying, hey, Ash bad, don't do. They said, hey, if you are personally working for Malcolm, I don't want you here. And that is fine. Because the truth of the matter is, while other people can look the other way because, well, it wasn't directed towards me. Malcolm didn't direct anything about me, talking to themselves. You can also look at how somebody acts regardless. So here's the problem. Fouchi and others were able to look at Malcolm calling me pedophile adjacent, smear me as a groomer because his little weirdo friend got caught letting children access written child pornography and letting children access regular pornography, and he had to find some reason to defend them. And the truth of the matter is, if you go back and you listen to his debate with Vlad that's on his channel, Vlad's channel, he says he did it for moral reasons. Here's the thing. That is a lie. That is a lie. I'm going to use old Baptist statements. That is a lie from the pit of hell. You want to know why that's a lie from the pit of hell? Because the minute Aiden got annihilated for his stunt, he stopped covering me. When you have a legitimate moral grievance with somebody, someone else tripping and exploding, talking about that person is not and should not affect you. That's how it comes down to. That's how it comes down to. So he never had an actual moral issue with me. He wanted to get attention and he wanted to get momentum and he wanted to get pity points or whatever clout he could get because he went after the big mean lion man to defend his creepy little friend who's fine letting children access porn. That should so very much so go beyond just it being a me problem and being an everyone problem. And I've made this very clear. If Ash came to me wanting to work for me, I just tell them no to their face. Even though they're not working for Malcolm anymore. Why? Because I know what they've done for Malcolm. That's unhinged. You can get your bag, that's fine. But if the entire morality comes to don't get in the way of somebody getting their bag, at no point can anybody then give Patchwork Heart grief for the zoophile pornography. Which I don't even do, to a degree, because they were destitute, right? But if people are going to make fun of that, don't hold an inconsistent standard. I'm actually getting really tired of it. This community's got to stop being pussies about actual situations here. I'm sorry that Ash may have felt uncomfortable in this. I'm sorry that other people got offended. I personally think it's way overblown. Oh my God, grow up. That's not how the real world works. Get over it. And yes, Lou, and I know you'd cry. That's why I would never do it. But one of the reasons.
Because that was...
You were working for Malcolm?
I was like, I mean...
Now, I could always say, I won't work with you anymore, Loon. You're not trying to thick women anymore.
Thumbnails once in a while, that's about it.
Because, as you and I discussed privately, and I reached out to Malcolm as well, I didn't want your association with the channel to directly impact any monetary services that you were going to receive through him. I made that very clear with him. I mean, he takes pot shots at me all the fucking time. I don't really give a shit. I hope he suffers the worst kind of fucking bad shroom trip in his life. My man does LSD on a daily and fucking shows.
Crazy. That's crazy.
What do you think he goes? He may be sober, but you're telling me he only goes sober to those concerts. I don't believe that, but that's just me. Well, here's what I will say. If you're still working for him, I would respectfully say no. The biggest reason why, like I said before, I do not want to impact monetarily, and people are...
Ace, you are actually doing the person mainly argued by the favor of not showing the stream Lamafau. There was no blackballing. It was a huge stress to make that point. That's why I said it's on Yin's stream. They can go check it out. I don't have to show every single thing I talk about. Sometimes I expect my chat, if they're actually just that curious, to just go watch it.
We're going to start asking you if you are in specific spaces.
I'm burning the woodshed. No, you're not. You put that match down, young lady.
I'm just going to be blunt. It's just not going to work out. It's not going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. Because those people will have no fuck.
Did I just hear Paw Patrol in the background? Am I cursed with Paw Patrol now? I think I'm cursed with Paw Patrol now.
And chill. Like, straight up, those people have no chill. And I've learned that the hard way, that those people have no chill.
Now, here's what I will say about Fouchi and the Malcolm and all that. Fouchi liked to present publicly like he had no aught with Malcolm. And here's what actually chaps me, because this is like... Now there's like 3 times I'm aware of Fouchi doing this stuff, where he will act differently to somebody in their face and differently behind the scenes. So if you'll notice, I've got heat for whom I have heat for publicly and privately. I am not showing that DM. Fishy. Not happening, fish. But I have heat either way. With Fouchi, he acts courteous to these people, says he has no problem with them, and then in the background, he's like a wild animal. And he's done this to 3 people. He did it to Malcolm, which again, don't like Malcolm, but be consistent. He did it to freaking Dreamer, where he would go around our areas like, you shouldn't engage with Dreamer. Dreamer's just a troll. They're not actually doing anything. But in other messages, he's talking about he wants Dreamer dead, which, pick a lane. And then he did it with freaking Himpleton. And out of all 3 of those people, Himpleton is the one that deserved it the least. Himpleton never did anything to Fouchi. The quote-unquote worst thing Himpleton did was have a meltdown. And I'll say it now. I said it on his stream. I'll say it now. I think it was severely overblown, and I think people shouldn't have mocked him for it to the degree they did. Because that was a man having a genuine mental episode because some freak was bullying them, saying they had something horrific that they actually didn't. If anything, that should have been when everybody said, hey, let's find and kill Viaquay. But no, they just said, oh, well, he acted like the Joker, therefore funny, right? Just, Himpleton didn't even do anything to Fouchi. He did nothing. And there was still this vitriol, a thread, to go to Himpleton's stream about it and watch it. There was a thread that said F Himpleton. And here's the thing. Fouchi runs that server. He has authority over it, and as such, he is the one holding the bag when things go wrong. He should have stepped in then when he saw the name of that thread and say, hey, what's this about? Why are we saying F Himpleton? Instead of going and finding his personal information.
But that's just pretty much it. Again, making it is completely fine. Not being able to make it, also completely fine. I don't particularly care.
We do a lot of D&D, so...
Yeah, we're also. I mean, listen, you guys have a lot of D&D stuff.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say at this point, like, it seems. I mean, I don't know. I don't really look at much of the other servers anymore. I kind of just, even before I got more busy, I just assume you guys seem to have like a game every day. If you guys are free for stream, you could either DM. Honestly, it'd probably be better if Fouchi DMs you if he wants you for a stream. Otherwise, you can DM him if you're in waiting or something. But I've adjusted the rules already, and like I said, if you guys just the only, I guess, not even an obligation, because I'm not asking you to do everything on your own time. Whatever you guys need to do,
You know, there's a couple problems with all of this. One is the whole you helped me build my channel, but now that we're bigger and I'm the face, bye-bye. There's two problems with that. Number one, there's the genuine, like, snakish nature of that. There's just something cruel about building something with people and then cutting them out. Like, not of their own volition, but of yours. Because you don't want to have to share the spotlight. The other one is, it's likely to make people communists, and that's a big problem. Alright? Communism bad.
I'm looking forward to seeing Ash and Q take on your guys' own channel stuff. I think it would be really interesting. Yeah. And then, like, for KJ, like I said, just focus on the D&D game. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to look really good. Like, the stuff that Blue talks about has been really interesting.
Yeah. So we can't just jump in the live anymore, is basically.
No, I made it so most people cannot.
Okay.
What was I going to say?
That was one of the fun things about the Op Block's earlier streams, is that people could just hop in. It was a fun dynamic. No other channel did that.
Yeah, the biggest thing is again, this is not a push. This is a suggestion. Focus on your own private things. The biggest reason why is like the fucking commentary has changed. Like straight up. Unironically, this is like an actual true story. I popped into Chud's stream today, and even Chud was like, "I'm out of the house. I don't get along with anybody anymore." Like even he said it. Everybody feels it, and nobody's really making the effort to be friendly again and to like have like a network of people to send each other to. So if that's the case, if we're gonna just fucking do it, we make it. I don't give a fuck. That was always part of the channel. That was always part of the ethos of the channel, was to support other people's goals, aspirations, and things like that. So I want to continue it that way. I want to pay.
How are you doing that, shutting them out though?
Okay. And that's pretty much it. I don't think I have anything else to say.
I don't either. I have to go. If you guys need to, again, if the perms don't work or something, or you need something from me, you can just DM me. But unless Fouchi needs something, I genuinely don't need anything from you guys. Like I said, I felt pretty bad, and I adjusted my behavior. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.
Oh, bye, honey. Yeah,
bye.
Shit to do. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to focus on now. Ash, Greg, if you're both available.
Yeah. No.
How do I edit?
You have fun. I'm watching Clash in Paris.
Give me a second.
Okay, let me at least down.
Let's take this in for a minute, chat. My dearest Lio Boo-Boos. Let's take this in. I'm firing you, but show me how to do your job after I've fired you. Dude, here's the thing. Right? There have been jobs I've lost, and that's a story for another tale for over a decade ago. If the people who got rid of me, specifically the ones who got rid of me for reasons that weren't my fault, called me the next day saying, "Hey, can you show me how to work on this account or with this work order?" I just hang up on them after laughing in their face. That is insultingly insane. It's amazing. So stupid.
Download the stream first.
Okay.
How much storage do you have also for?
2 terabytes.
Okay, that's good for video. You probably need more eventually, but.
Yeah, I
thought
talked to quite about it.
Good.
So my recommendation is to get a portable hard drive and put all the streams and all your editing on that portable hard drive because it will fill up fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
like,
yeah, you don't want another thing computer that you do.
Right now is fine, but like you need to do that because otherwise it's just gonna overtake your computer and it's gonna be a nightmare.
I hardly edit, and it's like it's all of my space still.
I have.
I need to go through. I need to comb through and delete all the shit that I've already turned into.
Yeah, that's what who's it? Hold on.
All right, I'm going. I'll pop back in later if you guys are still here. Or whatever. Come up.
Will Willie get Destiny arrested? How did his orbit respond? Sorry. Find out. No, I'm doing I'm making a post.
You're making
a post? Because I edit and I have like almost like 500 gigabytes of like videos plus edited videos on my portable hard drive, and it's just like.
Yeah, so like obviously the big thing is making sure everything is good.
So this is winding down, but I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something for you guys. All right, you ready? I just learned I can do this because I'm very dumb. So, you all have some gifted memberships now. Beefamet for $5. This peed me off. Just look at me tutorials on YouTube. Yes. Yes.
Let me, okay, these three go into the trash. Yeah, the big thing for me is now making sure that I can make certain things work because I don't know how they work. Got me feeling me down. Agonize your heart. Fuck the pain away. Don't let it ruin. Live. Let me go to the... Was it just the FCK stuff? Is that where I got the beginning of it? Yeah, I believe so.
What?
I believe that this is the Queen stuff. Because even if I don't upload it, or is it Ponder?
What? What?
It's still limited.
That's not the point. Wait, you gift your chatters? Yeah, you actually can. I found out recently if you click on the the super chat button and you're the channel owner, you can gift subs or gift memberships. Like you can do 10 a month. So I just gave away the first 5. That's actually kind of neat. It's nice. I like doing nice things for people. So, that's that. That's that. Learn how to edit like every other weeb. AMVs. Thank you, Shatterstar, for the $2. I mean, I still watch them. Dude, I never grew up in like a household of music, despite my old man playing guitar. Because, like, the church I was going to taught that, like, secular music is of the devil. So, the way I got introduced to any music was through freaking AMVs as a late teenager. There's your Lio lore. Alright, so. I got fired from a wine cellar because I wore a basketball short to work. Everyone else was smoking weed in the back, serving underage customers, also wearing basketball shorts. Well, okay then. So. We're going to go now to Fouchi's response. Now, for the sake of transparency, because that is who I am. He sent me this before he uploaded it. I looked at it. And then everything else fell down. I'm like, dude, I don't know if this is going to cut it. I didn't give him any pointers. I didn't do any of that. Imperial Dreadnought for $5. His mod call is giving me the same vibes as the Toy Story I don't want to play with you anymore meme. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Monstrous, for the 5 gifted gifted memberships. Very appreciated. Very kind of the Monstrous. And now she will lord it over all.
I know this video is long overdue, and I want to make something very clear at the jump of this video. This video is about accountability and clearing up any misconceptions that I can. This video is not about placing blame on anybody.
Blinky Iris for $5. Always good to see you here. Listening to you stream while working on my D&D character. Let's hope she doesn't die again. Woo! But yeah, wild crap. Well, make her stronger and she won't have that problem.
Myself. I take full responsibility for my actions, my personal events, and my words, and that is how that's going to be. First and foremost, I know my initial response was inadequate, and it shouldn't have happened, and I apologize for that. Talking about the start of the channel, this channel started in 2024 with some diesel mods, and as it progressed and we started gaining more and more momentum and things like that, it did become its own channel. People like, for instance, KJ and Ash would begin to join the channel as Ash. They would do editing and then eventually hosting and then thumbnails, as well as KJ, who would do research. I want to make something very clear. Ash and KJ were paid. On the screen here, you will see Ash's payments for the time that they worked with me. Ash was also paid for not only just thumbnail work, hosting, and any type of editing, but as well as D&D maps that were supposed to be for our D&D game, and this was the total that was received. KJ, by his own request, had asked donations to his throne. You can see the total amount here. In the beginning, when Ash was helping the channel, it was under my understanding, even when they said it in call, that...
Another salute for Ace for giving 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much. Everybody is getting spoiled today.
Some editing and thumbnails were done.
I really wish I had more stuff for the memberships. I'm sorry, guys. I don't really know what to do for any of you. So let me know if you have any ideas.
As a friend favor, because they liked the channel. Over time, Ash...
If anybody needs some help, though, it's DD and other people. God, I didn't know this thing was getting hit with so many doggone ads. That sucks.
Did Ash...
also don't know how to fix it.
Ask to be compensated. You can see the message here when I reach out to them after that voice call conversation. I wanted to make sure that they were compensated for their labor because they were working for the channel and they were doing great work. And
Gidget emojis? Gidget emojis, you say? It's an idea. It's an idea. But I also have Gidget stickers that I sell. You can go find a community post about that too. But we will see. We will see. We will see. Pictures of Gidget. All right.
And that kind of comes up into the call that's been released regarding the firing of Ash, KJ, and Q. It's completely my fault. I was not upfront with my friends. I was not honest with my friends. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm sparing their feelings, but in reality, I'm not doing that. I'm hurting them more. It's something that I will have to live with the rest of my life and move forward with. But over time, my sadness started turning into resentment.
Part of the problem is talking about how things affected you and how you feel and stuff like this. It's more important about how it affected other people. What Fouchi should have done when it came to these mods is, instead of just making determinations, actually have the conversations. It's not always easy. I know that personally, but it's what you've got to do.
And that's not appropriate. It doesn't...
Do repo membership streams as well. Would be funny to hear the insane lore as you autistically try not to die. Well, maybe. Thank you, Blinky Iris, for 5 gifted memberships. Man, you guys are super spoiled. Good God, I have a nice community. Thank you all.
Match the person I am on camera and the person I try to be. Everyone has personal vents, and when they leak, it's terrible. That's still not appropriate. Things that I've said, either jokingly, offhandedly, could still be taken very seriously because they hold serious weight. And it's just inappropriate to do so. It's not the person that I want to be. A little bit later, I had heard things regarding the KF account that caused this Makari breakup that was becoming active again. Makari had also stepped forward and given over her server. I passed this off to FPS Diesel, and I will say this right now, it was incredibly inappropriate because I didn't know if it was or wasn't him. The allegation that it was KJ. Reading back, it looks stupidly coy. It looks like I'm trying to destroy his reputation, and it's exactly what I didn't want to happen, but it's exactly how it should be received.
Well, yeah, again, this all could have... And here's the painful part. A lot of this could have been solved with just genuine conversations, right? Infinite Curly Fries. Love that name, by the way. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships. Okay, yeah, now this is just a membership war.
Is stupid, inappropriate, and vitriolic. It wasn't right. I wasn't being honest with how I felt. I wasn't being honest if I felt hurt and things like that, and that festered in all the wrong ways. Addressing blackballing claims, I want to just state now that I never directly participated in any of those, but I recognize that people around me did in some capacity. I've seen the messages from Cloudy. I've seen the DMs, and I'm not particularly happy about them. They upset me, but they upset me in the way of she did something wrong because she thought that she was protecting me. And I didn't stop her from doing that. This is not a breakup. This is me addressing what I did wrong in our relationship by not helping my partner. She didn't have to do all that.
That is genuinely part of the problem involving your partner in your channel content, especially, actually almost primarily, as a drama streamer. Like, if you just talk about cartoons and you involve your partner, the worst case scenario is that something happens in your relationship, like you break up, or God forbid, a death. And then your catalog is just filled with those memories, right? That's the emotional impact. But when you're a drama streamer, do not get your partner involved. It will go horrifically wrong very quickly. Because one of you is going to go off the grid on something, and then you're going to be on the hook for it. And you're going to have to make the very hard choice of, do I defend my partner or do I condemn them? And both answers will lead to ruin.
Shouldn't have done that. And that's on me. She has her own things that she has to apologize for, to take accountability for, and that's what she will do. But I do want to make it very clear that it's my fault. It's my fault for allowing her to do that, and it's my fault for making her think that she had to do that to protect me. Finally, I want to say I'm sorry, specifically to Ash, KJ, Q, FPS Diesel, Becca the Cope and Seeth, and anyone who's ever been associated with the channel. I want to apologize. My inadequacies my rhetoric, and my actions or inactions caused hurt, caused damage, and it's not something that you make up with one specific statement. To the audience, I want to apologize again for inadequacies within my first response, as well as apologize for the way that I've acted. You have every right to feel disgusted. You have every right to feel angry. You have every right to feel confused and every right to feel hurt. It's on me. It was always on me.
No, he never once mentioned Hippleton, unfortunately.
It doesn't matter if I was the direct participant or not. My actions or my inaction made these things occur. And I'm sorry. Where do we go moving from here? For now, the channel will be put on a hiatus. The reason being is that I need to take the time to better myself offline. Bar none. I need to take the time to do that, and I need to take the time before I could ever come back to content creation to make sure that I rectify and make amends for the wrongs that I've committed. Making amends is actionable change. The action needs to come after putting in the work. So that is what's going to be happening with the channel. Thank you guys so much. What I would like to say is please, 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 please do not harass any of the mods. They had nothing to do with this. And I really just, it's on me. It's on me and Cloudy. So please just don't do that. Thank you for your time.
Okay, so as you can probably tell, wasn't very well received. I'm sure this is very surprising to literally everybody. Because the main problem with this is how horrifically vague it is. Very little is directly named. Very little noise of action is directly talked about. And look, here's the thing. It is very difficult to do a video like this in general. From personal experience, I can tell you that. Because you can do what I did and try to address as many things as possible, and people are still going to get butt mad about it. Or they're going to think it's bad because you're explaining things, when all you're really trying to do is give context. Or if you do something really short and sweet like this, people automatically go with an intention or statement or belief that, well, you're just downplaying it. You're not addressing things properly, which is also fair. I don't know if there is a 100% correct way to do a video like this. I really don't. The only thing I can say is just be honest and put out the truth. And that's all you can really do. Whether people accept it or not is on them. Right? He didn't talk about him trying to ruin Templeton's life the way Heaton did. No, he didn't. He didn't talk about that at all. Which, again, go watch Templeton's stream on that. He's the person you should be listening to about all of that, because he's the affected party. Monster says he never addressed all the weird flirting he does, or the fact that he was flirting with taking individuals like me. That is also an issue. And I'm never going to put this stuff out, right? Because it's frankly none of your business. Because part of my problem with how this drama was handled by certain people is it got into the real world personal way too fast and way too needlessly. Like, there were people talking about and bringing up, like, his ex-wife because somebody who knew her, apparently, allegedly, reached out to talk about him. That has literally nothing to do with any of this. And to be clear, if I had done something like that, people would want my head on a spike. So other people doing it, and people just winking and nodding at it or ignoring it, annoys me to no end. And the reason why it annoys me to no end is either we have standards or we don't. And if we have standards, apply them thoroughly. If we don't, then fine. Let it be a lawless world, and people will learn the hard way about how unfortunate that decision would be. But you have to be consistent. If somebody digging into somebody else's personal life and bringing out personal life individuals to try to clown on them for unrelated things while they're dealing with a drama is unacceptable if I did it, it's unacceptable when anybody does it. And that's not even something I did. I never, even to the pedophiles, I never reached into their real world lives to talk about their ex-fiance or something. Like, yeah, I wound up getting a dude fired, but that's because he was an EMT who was trying to get 12-year-olds in his bed. It's a bit different. Just a little bit different, right? And that wasn't even me directly doing it. It was because he had lost his job, and on the background search, they found his name due to my video tags and found out he did it and refused to hire him on, right? So it's a mess. Now, here's what we're gonna do. I need to find Slugs stuff because we're gonna talk about one of the individuals who helped spark all this stupidity in terms of the personal stuff. we're going to talk about an individual named Reena B. Now, Reena B is a very unique individual in the fact that she is equal parts Hopeless Peaches and pseudo mean girl. And what do I mean by that? They wanted everything their way all the time, and regularly people did what they wanted because they liked them and valued them, and it was never enough. It was never enough. So, what is my interaction? What is my personal interaction and personal history with Reena? Well, one day I was out and about with the wife. We were just doing some fun things around time. I think we were at the Bunt Factory, like the Bunt cake place, because she really likes those. Goodness. I think Gidget just sneezed in a very terrible way. So, we were out and about, and I got a tag. Ooh, kitty fight. I got a tag from Fouchi's server. And what did this tag have? Well, it had an individual. Let me see if this works. Had an individual by the name of Reena losing her marbles, upsetting her spaghetti, saying, "Lio, how does your wife feel about you doxing yourself? Because if my husband did that, I'd be furious." And it ultimately broke down into, "That's none of your business, you lunatic. Shut up." And I went at it with her. And when I went at it with her, Fouchi and Cloudy tried to back her up, talking about, well, she's not coming at you. When she's sitting there saying, "You only say that because you want to be a tough guy. You're trying to prove something to other people." I'm like, no, it's because I don't care. And if there is an issue with me doing that, it will be a conversation with my wife, not some worthless loser who's clearly unhappy in her own marriage. Fun fact, I was right. You see, I'm not going to go through all this. Is just on here for like visuals. I'm going to link this in the comments here shortly. Give me a second here. I'll make sure I do this right. Boop. Give me a second. Because here's the thing. The wife and I have had conversations about these things. And when it came down to the stuff Aiden did, it was, oh, a loser tried to do something dumb? Okay. She knows there's losers out here. She knows there's people that are going to come at me. She knows that. She's fine with the understanding of that. Because being an adult or something. Disconnected. How dare. There we go. We should be reconnected now. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of people do that because they're projecting their own problems onto it. I hate to tell you this, guys, and this might upset the detractors, but my relationship with my wife is pretty doggone good. We love each other very dearly. I find her adorable, and I love everything she does. So, die in a fire. It's not my fault that you guys are unhappy. That's a you problem. I'm sorry that the middle-aged man who yells at freaks on the internet is such a problem that you're mad he's happy with his wife. Womp womp. And the scuff wasn't my fault. OBS just randomly disconnected me for some reason. So what happened was I got in Reena's face, and I actually just bullied Reena. That's what I did. I bullied Reena in Fouchi's Discord, told her to shut up, told her to piss off, and they didn't like that. That was one of the reasons Fouchi gave for why he didn't want me in his servers, because I upset dearest Reena. Now, what does Reena do for everybody to treat her like the golden calf? I have no idea. I genuinely don't. This is one of the most milquetoast, personality-less, worthless waifs I've ever seen in my entire time online. So I do not know why so many people simp for this person and throw down so much for them. But it all culminated, and apparently Reena here, who was married, apparently wanted more sexual attention online, so she tried to get some from Morale. For whatever reason, we still don't know. And because Cloudy doesn't like Morale, Cloudy went to Fouchi and another guy and said, hey, give Reena male attention so she doesn't go after Morale. And they did. Oh, they absolutely did. But because Reena, I guess, needed more attention, she decided to start putting all this stuff out and going to Morale to push it out there. Now, the DMs I'm showing off on screen right now, thankfully, have been very carefully edited by Slug, because some of it had nudes, some of it had personal information. Monstrous actually told me earlier today that apparently Reena lied and did show or did give, like, Morale Fouchi's nudes, which needs to be reported to law enforcement, frankly. So, yeah, it's a more than a little bit of a mess, to be clear. And the funny thing is, this is something I'm going to have to take up with Cloudy, and we'll go over her response here shortly, because she did a Google Doc. Is when the stuff went on about me and Aiden and my wife, she asked how my wife's doing. I'm like, oh, she's fine. She just knows her freaks online. It's whatever. For some reason, took that and ran to Reena saying, ha, you were right. Lio's wife is pissed and told him to stop this dumb crap, which none of that freaking happened at all. So that's what led to Reena trying to victory lap in other people's channels and chats about how she was right and yada, yada, yada. No, Reena, I'm right. I'm right in the fact that you are a worthless state of a human being who's so unhappy in your marriage that you fathered a kid, that you sired a child in, by the way. My mic is cutting off. That's weird. That's actually really weird because it's showing just fine on my OBS here. Shouldn't be an issue. See, apparently some people can hear me. Let me see here. So, they have a kid. We've been giving them grief in Monstrous Thunderdome. We have been bullying the living daylights out of this person. But no, they tried their best to grandstand me on so many things. And it just blew up in their face. And I'm fine with that. I think Reena is one of the types of people who needs to be bullied out of these spaces because she doesn't belong here. She's willing to snake people who genuinely did nothing wrong to her in order to get male attention from some random jobless freak. It's ridiculous. So, now that I've looked at that, because there's so much here, and these people did actually know Reena, like IRL, and I'm going to show you. Let me find it since it's been put here. You guys are probably asking, man, Reena's got to be a real 10 out of 10. They've got to be like model level. They've got to be like the bee's knees, right? They've got to be a real looker. I'm going to show you her. I think it's a little bit further down here because they really had a thing for freaking Diesel, that poor sucker. Can't imagine having these type of women after you. It's got to be miserable. Sorry, it's taking me a minute to find this picture. Man, it is taking forever. My apologies, chat. There's Diesel, by the way, as you all know, because you guys see him on camera. Diesel with Cloudy. This is Reena. This is who people were trying to get in the pants of. She looks like she's on meth. She looks like she's slightly less troubled than Courtney. This is the Helen of Troy in this situation. This is ridiculous. And I'm not saying that to specifically shame her for her looks. I'm just saying this is not worth it. It never is worth it, frankly, but this certainly isn't. A space for $2. Pass, indeed. Pass, indeed. So, I am now going to click, and now I'm going to go. She looks Walmart pretty. Oh, dog, that's ouch. Ouch. Now, I'm not saying that because I think she's a horrific human being and all, let's mock her appearance. I'm saying that this isn't even anybody special. This is ridiculous that it got to this point. She's not freaking Jessica Rabbit. Hive cat for $2. Get out of my head, Lio! Get out of my head! Charles, get out of my head! I know it's in, here it is. Leave. Okie dokie. So, this is Cloudy's response. Now, we'll have a little bit of irony for Cloudy here. So, Monstrous challenged Cloudy. Right? Thank you, Bomberman3001 for $2. It looks like one of my old managers. Also pass. All right. DeMagical Raccoon for $2. Brother You. What's that? Okay. So, here's the thing. Monstrous challenged Cloudy to a Thunderdome call. Cloudy initially agreed. Initially. However, she has recently declined it. She states that there's something about that that's going to cause her real-world problems. That's fine. The ironic thing is this. When the announcement was made, after she agreed to it, she read that I was going to be involved. And keep in mind, I was just going to moderate it. I wasn't going to dog on. I was literally going to make sure that people like Monstrous didn't go overboard and that Cloudy didn't get allowed to, run rampant and go on to non sequiturs. Cloudy's response to seeing me there was to freak out and melt down in someone else's DMs in sheer terror. And the reason why that's kind of ironic is she is one of the people who actively went around saying how stupid it is for people to be scared of being in calls with me and how you can just leave the call. And I have seen many people say this, and I have told them multiple times. And not out of any ego of mine. I'm a 40-year-old man who collects action figures. I'm not allowed to have one of those. Everybody thinks it's not a big deal or that you can't take it seriously until you're the one in the call. Then suddenly it's not. And that has, again, been proven true. And I'm not saying that out of ego. I'm saying it to check your own. I don't get why people would be scared to be in a call where a man's tearing them down for the horrible things they did. Yes, you do. Everybody does. Was that public info or are you bullying again? Well, both. Monzesty. It is public info and I am bullying them. Hope that answers your question. Now, this is Cloudy's response. My response. This statement isn't for excuses. Just accountability for what I've done and how I hurt many people. I want to make it clear that most of these issues are my fault and to apologize. Lio Wittiwell gets scared of me all the time. Ah, sure thing, buddy. Monstrous, no. I didn't want to name him. Okay, Monstrous. She melted down in my partner's DMs. She used him for an effing year and then effing melted down after being told you'd moderate. Okay, I didn't want to name him, but okay, Monstrous. Okay, Monstrous. It is not bullying the weak. It's bullying the freaks. All right? I have not purposely gone to creators and told them that Killjoy is a doxer, a bad worker, or supposedly tried to get him demodded elsewhere. Not sure if that's true. However, I will explain and apologize for how me even talking about this story and DMing Reena every single mean catty complaint ever could have still gotten out and hurt this and other job opportunities. I only told one of the Cope and Seed staff that I was demodding him since we shared closer communities, but it was not a bid for them to get him removed there as well, so in the screenshot. Thank you, Weebus, for $2. Reena looks like the emo kid and Horton Hears a Who. I've never seen it, so I will take your word for it. Cloudy, KJ thinks I worked with Cope mods to get him kicked out of the mod here too. LOL. They never liked him and he scared them by doing something that they won't tell me. Okay. Reena B, I'm willing to bet it's doxing related. Cloudy, most likely. Beckett was mad ASF. Keeps KJ around despite his team saying it's a bad idea. Reena, I gotta look over that Kiwi account one of these days again to see if there's more to connect. You know, it's highly possible Reena was the Kiwi Farm account they're all talking about. Just gonna say that there. I'm talking about what would be so bad if he got demodded. Beckett's hard line is doxing. I say in the screenshot, I do ask, but I wasn't told. I just assumed. This is my mistake, and it looks terrible because I'm being catty on purpose. I am so sorry. I need to stress that my DMs with Reena were always meant to stay private, and while that's no excuse for my behavior, unless screenshots of me venting and being upset were shared to creators, I did not purposely go to creators to get Killjoy or Ash fired or kept from work. Huh. Maybe don't say things in private you wouldn't say publicly. Because this is essentially the jar, well, my video was leaked nonsense, right? It's irrelevant. You said it because you thought you were safe. You shouldn't have done it to begin with. The issue isn't where you did it. The issue is what was that you did it, right? The where is irrelevant. When it comes to morale, I was told behind the scenes he was someone to be kept away from because of his behavior, which is why I asked to have his Fouchis kept off the op streams. I think that's the Fouchi tech stuff. The crappers were in chat, but I couldn't have communicated what I was told as well, and I just didn't. My vents and insane overbearing whining were just supposed to stay with Reena, and I have no idea if she took the times I complained about the group or channel issues to other people. I've not seen any proof of it, but I did not personally go to creators and tell people not to work with them, and I didn't ask Reena to go to anyone to do that either. The censored logs are out there in the public, and that's the thing I've linked that is pinned. I thought my vents and thoughts would stay with the people I told, but there was no way to ever make sure of that, and I am deeply sorry. I handled things incredibly poorly and immaturely. Part of the problem, right? That's part of the problem. The other part of the problem is some of the DMs are just lies. Just factually lies. Which is another issue there, but, you know, whatever. Nothing I can do to take that back. Interpersonal drama / Makari situation. I feel as if I do need to explain the interpersonal drama to apologize for everything else. I will try to shorten it as much as I can. I had a server named Touchgrass Anonymous. It started as a friend gaming server and became an op block research server over time. During March 2025, there was some tension in the group with how Fouchi was leading the channel, scheduling times, what stories were being run, ignoring uploads, etc. During the month the Cloudy HR joke started was because it fell to me, Fauci's partner, to talk to him about smaller issues I would be told about. Alright. A lot of things I'm going to discuss were done in voice chats, so all I have, if anything, are screenshots of after calls happening. On the 6th of April, I was made aware of a Kiwi Farms leak in Touchgrass server from Saint, and I got very paranoid and panicked about it. It wasn't so much what was leaked, but that there was a leak at all. There's very sensitive information in the server, and I got incredibly paranoid about anything anyone does or says in the group. I didn't tell anyone because I genuinely had no idea who it could have been. On the 14th of April, a large text post was dropped in the server by Makari. You could have had a group chat and just talk to people about it and see if somebody would just say, yeah, guys, that was me. I did the thing. I am sorry. Good Lord. Good Lord. I am not reading this. I am not reading this. I am not reading this. Summary is that the group had some grievances and there is confusion on where the channel is heading and if it's meant to be taken more seriously or not. I was dropped late at night. It was dropped late at night, and after a small back and forth, we rested until the morning to talk. The morning call I feel was productive, but the whole group couldn't attend. So far, there was a plan for later on the day to have a big call with all of us. Later the same day, Diesel reaches out to me about needing to talk about the whole group and about the text post, and I tell him in the call about the Kiwi Farms link. He tells me Makari told him already about it and said they were blaming me or Fouchi. We brainstormed about it being Makari, but we have no proof. I said stupid things in that call too for no reason other than grasping at straws to connect Makari to the account. The talk about the long post with the entire server still needs to happen, so we just wait until after the day's op block stream. I do not have a copy of this call, nor can I remember everything about it. I want to summarize what I remember. The night after the streams, the whole research server is on call with Diesel, and from what I can remember, Diesel explains Makari's points in their paragraph calmly, ultimately saying it's a group channel, but since Fouchi is the face and owns the channel, that anything falls back on Fauci's. Anything falls back on the channel falls back on him. I am talking to Diesel in DMs, saying that the Kiwi leak should come up. The leak is brought up. I get emotional when Diesel says it's Makari accusing me. I remember there's a back and forth on why she didn't bring it up sooner, since she knew before I did, and Fouchi tells her she can't be part of the channel anymore. I know Diesel says some things about not wanting to be around someone who talks like that account. I can't remember how to call it. Apparently the account was like very much so right-wing garbage. So There you go. I know there was a chat after the Makari firing of KJ looking into the account right after that, but I ended up going to bed. Next morning, I sit with Killjoy, looking over the Kiwi account to see if anything matches anything. Q joins, and I say I know Makari had a server. Could he please look for the leaked information to see if it was forwarded or something? Q looks over two of Makari's servers and says he sees the leak from Makari's friend. I ask if he's sure. He says yes. I do not remember there being a screen share. I do remember seeing it with my own eyes, and my mistake was made that when I didn't ask for a screenshot to show as proof for everyone else. That is my fault. I take full blame for not asking. It was incredibly stupid of me. I should have made sure there was proof of not just for myself, but for everyone in the server. I don't have any excuse for it, and I'm sorry because this choice hurt people. It's my fault. I couldn't remember, and it stuck in my head that I never saw anything, but I literally didn't do the bare minimum of trying to prove something. This user is a friend user. What? Still, he said he saw it and made this post in the research server after. Afterwards, I say that while that is done, it does not explain the weird interpersonal stuff going on with Fouchi and I getting ignored or dismissed a lot. The call is Killjoy, Ash, and Q, and myself, and through tears I was told in Makari's server they would sit around and talk crap about Fouchi. I am told that encouraging channel work with me was pushed people away, and that I was expecting too much. I remember saying it was okay, and I'm sorry, but it hurt really bad, and frankly, I never got over it. I got increasingly paranoid, snippy, and mean, and I was venting and telling Reena any complaint I had about anything. It was obsessive and gross behavior, beyond just being a mean girl. As I said earlier, if I couldn't handle it anymore, I should have stepped completely back, but I didn't. True. I tried to help where I could, and I managed the op Discord. I did mention in random VCs that I was going to adjust roles, mods, and perms and give everyone their own channel roles so they didn't have to feel obligated to do more than they wanted. I thought I had a green light, but clearly I didn't communicate it well. The firing mod call happens, and I stand by it being a bad call. It was terribly handled. I know there's DMs where I say it was fine, but it really wasn't. It was terrible, and I was just being stubborn. The earlier crap talking of Fouchi is why I have an attitude about Ash working for Malcolm. I was paranoid of it all happening again, and I felt lied to, but I didn't clarify. I could have done more, and I took it out on them instead. Where Q asks me if there's anything he can do, I immediately say no, because I have memory of him in tears telling me that he just encouraged his own channel, made him feel like I was pushing him away. Okay. I didn't want to make it worse, but I wasn't kind about it. What a dick. I thought I was genuinely trying to make things easier and give them more freedom, but after everything that happened, it just became a cut-off firing call, and I do take a lot of the brunt of that. I should have been better explaining things or just asking what was needed. I ran with my feelings, and that was incredibly childish. People leave the op Discord. Not kicked, and I gave a very brief explanation to the current op mods, keeping the focus on my F-ups. This includes a few days later when the real-life friend who was used to research in the server with me kicked everyone they didn't recognize out of it, making fresh wounds by pure accident because she mistook me being very emotional as needing to make space. I apologize and reinvite folks and give the server to Fouchi and strip any power I had in it and ask my friend to leave. I never discouraged any of the op mods to stop talking to anyone, but I understand the awkwardness of a situation would make a divide. I take fault for that as well. It is time for the apologies, chat. Apologies. I never wanted any of this to be content, but I needed to be very clear about why I became so grossly hostile and catty. It was my inability to communicate clearly. Most of these situations can be told of me not handling my emotions when I feel slighted, and then I can't let go. By the way, LioQ confirmed that he was crying but was over a project he was working on with Makari. Well, I hope he's doing better now. He did something very kind for me that at one point I'll put out. That doesn't excuse any of it. I'm embarrassed and regretful, but that is nothing in comparison to the hurt and misery I caused. The obsessiveness, picking on every little thing, the paranoia, assuming the worst, asking Reena to pick on people, screenshotting private crap that had nothing to do with anything, also I could try and soothe my hurt feelings and ego, talking about things that wasn't mine to talk about, and incredibly unhinged gross behavior. It hurt the community, it hurt creators, it hurt people I called friends. It hurt people I called friends, and it hurt my partner and his opportunities, and there are no words that can express how deeply sorry I am. Fouchi was unaware of how I would speak to Reena, and we did not read each other's DMs. I was aware of the sexting, just not the contents of it because I do not read or check my partner's posts. I have been in open polyamorous relationships for a long time. My boundaries are different, and I never hid that. I won't be discussing Fouchi's private life, and it's disheartening that it came out at all. True. To Reena. She wasn't a fan. She was a friend of mine. The laws go back 3 years. We talked in DMs, VCs, etc. about anything and everything. I plan to meet up and all. I don't want her life, business, and her husband to be public either, but what's done is done. I did not try to sexually sell her to Fouchi. Reena came to me when she wanted to sex morale and wanted me to stop her, and I was just saying anything stupid to make her laugh. I even talked about how I have also hooked up with losers. I talked crassly with her. It was supposed to stay private, but it's still terrible to do. I talk about Saint because they had a flirt joke going on at the time, and again, I was just trying to cheer her up. I say I'd rather be a weird stepmom than let Morale win because it is not a secret that even beyond the Fujis, I do not like Morale, and he knows that as well. One base thing. The mommy thing is something she started calling me as a joke. I've done it back. I've had other people call me it. I don't personally care if it's being used as a way to prove I'm trying to use her for a kink, then that's just not true. I have asked Reena to drop screenshots in public threads in the Op House for me. The same has been asked of me by others so they don't get outed in spaces they're in. That was part of the content. That wasn't okay for me to do. Was asking her to do or say specific things to just regular people because I wanted to be mean because I was mad. I was wrong, and I am sorry. There's nothing I can do to take it back. I was a bitter, jealous a-hole in her DMs, and I said a lot of mean, awful things. If Reena leaked, or she said what I said to other creators or chatters, I have no knowledge or proof of it. Either way, it's terrible behavior, and it wouldn't have mattered if she leaked it if I wasn't speaking in such a disgusting way. Finally took you long enough. Even as closer friends, I was constantly negative and catty and mean, and there's no excuse for me to act like that. Okay. KJ, I was absolutely terrible to you, and there's actually no words that can convey how sorry I am. It was brought to my attention by the person who showed the Kiwi leak in the first place that you could have been the leak, and it made me hostile. I felt guilty about blaming Makari, and instead of asking or doing anything rational to handle it, I just became bitter and upset. I did have 2 different people, Reena and someone in my real life, go over things and both told me there was no proof it's you. I do not think that it's you, but I can see the Reena DMs that I didn't make sure it's been corrected or that I didn't think it's you. I didn't tell op mods, random chatters, or creators. It doesn't matter because of the correction did not come out with it, and for that I'm sorry. I wasn't careful with Reena or the others at all. I was so angry and bitter there was really nothing else you could have done, and I should have just walked away, and I didn't. You did try hard to connect to me, but I didn't even try to accept it. It hurt you and yours. I'm sorry. Ash, I was so convinced that you told me you weren't working for Malcolm that instead of asking again or clarifying, I acted like an insane person. My fear of all the Makari leak stuff was so strong, I let it ruin the good you did, assumed lies, and I acted like a huge that. I did not go to other creators to stop you, but I see how my attitude was terrible. I whined to Reena like a child instead of trying to communicate more and said horrible things about her or about you to her. I was angry about so much that it included Sai, because when it all blew up, I felt like only Fouchi was getting the brunt of it, and I was upset for him too. Go on the offensive next time, then. Still no excuse. It was mean in a way no one deserves. None of that was your fault, and I'm so sorry. Hive, like mocking what you went through with Peaches and Reena. Or like with Peaches with Reena. Well, she didn't mock me. At least not that I saw. She mocked Hidden. And the people who were in BK held hostage in calls with just hang up, it's fine. That just tells me that people have never had a genuine connection with people. That's actually horrifying. Scumbag behavior. Q. I blamed you for Makari for a long time because I couldn't remember seeing the Discord and seeing proof of the leak myself. If I had just asked for a screenshot for all of us, then a lot of this could have been avoided. I am the one that did not ask, and I ran with my own crappy assumptions because I could not remember, and there's nothing I can say to make any of the horrible things I've said back. I thought you lied to me, and with some of the other interpersonal stuff, I just got nasty and mean, but nothing was so bad to ever warrant how I acted. I implied terrible things about you, and I deeply regret it. These were my hang-ups, and I'm incredibly sorry. I hurt you for no reason, just because I couldn't handle myself and I don't have enough words to apologize, but I am sorry. Diesel, you brought me around and expected better of me, and I'm sorry to not only be a disappointment, but to act like you never showed me kindness or deserved communications as well. I hurt you and your friends, and I acted like a whole, well, no matter what happened to me, I will say again that I should have just backed off until I was okay, or just left if I couldn't get over it. I threw it all back in your face, and I'm sorry. Makari, I want to make it clear that I should have seen proof that it was your friend, or tried harder to talk to you. I didn't at first because I was hurt and stubborn. I'm so sorry. I didn't do better. Well, I know you accepted my first apology. I'm doing it again. I'm sorry. Liv, I didn't like some interpersonal things that happened. That's no excuse for how I treated you. I was being a mean girl and I regret it. I should have just blocked and moved on, not let others get at you for me. That was psychotic and unwell behavior. I am really sorry. I will also stand by the fact that the Para situation should have focused on him and not you. When I last went over it, it reminded people that he was literally collecting doxes, and all anyone remembers is the joke. Not even that he is the only one that lied about liking and wanting it. I am sorry you didn't deserve more cruelty than you had already gotten. Mine doesn't matter. Hidden. I'm incredibly embarrassed for how I acted with you. Even if I thought you were making people watch illegal content for research, it's no excuse, which... If you thought that, why didn't you say something? Anyways... Like with Lio, I didn't have to vent to someone who already didn't like you and rile her up, and I'm really sorry how stressful everything was, even with the other dramas going on and mocking your stress. With everything that happened on your end, you didn't deserve this, and I am sorry. Potato. I am sorry. I was upset because I thought you were helping people who were watching the illegal stuff. Why didn't you say anything? The actual mod call was about mod abuse, but nothing so bad that I should make fun of such a soft moment. I was being cruel and mean because I was mad about something which I didn't even tell Reena. I cried after that call too. I didn't DM, talk, reach out, or anything, and I was just being catty, and I am sorry. I didn't act like a friend, and you never deserved that. Vlad M1. I'm sorry for hurting you and her. My speculation on what was or wasn't a lie was unwarranted. I did explain that the chat DM about M1 looks terrible, and it is. Yeah, that was some snake crap they pulled with that. I could talk about everything I had going on in that moment across multiple servers, but ultimately sold M1 and didn't care about her feelings. I dangled and baited better drama by talking to Reena and saying there's something better if she left M1 alone. Or you could have just said, hey, this person did nothing wrong, don't dick with them. It's not hard. If you have to constantly keep your friend in check, that's a problem. You need to get rid of them. Reena and I were already butting heads, and I was just saying anything to get her to listen to me and stop fighting chatters, but ultimately a real person got hurt and attacked, and there is no excuse for it. I didn't even warn M1 that if she swung, people would swing back. I talk about her like she's a pet or something, and it's gross. I can only apologize, but it'll never be enough, and I regret it terribly. I'm sorry. This was much less serious, but I still want to talk about it. I had an argument with Vlad over optics, and I was incredibly stupid and said argument because I misrepresented what he said, and I thought he meant it was good to even be honest about things that could get you doxxed or could out you where you work. Alright. I lost my cool and started whining about it instead of backing off and just asking what he meant. Sorry for that too. Zaint. I'm sorry for calling you autistic when you're completely right about everything all wrong. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, is he autistic? Community. I crap talked random chatters out of annoyance or to try and be funny, and either way it wasn't okay. No one deserved that. All this were my hangups and my issues, not anyone else's. No one made me be in charge of the Discord, and I should have gotten someone else to be in charge if it felt like it was too much. It was plain mean to people who didn't deserve it at all, and I'm sorry to all of you. I also should never have had someone in my mod team who would fight people, let alone crap talk, and I never should have gone along with or started it too. I am very sorry, and it didn't matter. We were friends. Reena didn't even want to be a mod, so this is my fault entirely. True. True. Hello, Cat the Awesome. Glad to see you here. I really did have a good time, and you were all wonderful, and I effed that up. Completely. I betrayed trust, and I can never apologize enough for it. I made my bed, and it hurts a lot of people in this community because I couldn't let go. I hurt people who only really tried to make room for me because I chose to stay paranoid and upset. I am sorry. It was incredibly gross, bitter, and jealous of people, and too stubborn and childish to let go and try to communicate. I'm also sorry for anyone catching strays or stress for ever being my friend or associated with me. You don't deserve it. My only ask is that no one harasses anyone that was associated with the op channel or me. Moving forward, I will leave commentary completely. I cannot betray trust the way I have and stay. It's not right. I have not decided if I keep doing content, but if I do, it'll be after a long time, and I will be doing things by myself. If Fouchi decides to continue anything, I will not be part of it. I cannot handle it at all, and I have hurt him with my actions as well. Trying to protect him because became twisted into something gross, and I have no excuses. I will not be around if he continues any type of content in the future. Aside from some private talks, the last thing I'll be doing publicly is Slug's interview as a thank you for putting all the work into censoring DMs and being kind. Then I'm staying offline for a long while in general since I can't be healthy with it. Some of my socials I've already handed over to a trusted person to keep me off them. Thank you for reading. So, Reena is insane. Reena ran around on her husband. Reena needs to be bullied to death. And if you want to do that, feel free to go into Thunderdome because she's still there and able to be swung upon. Now, what do I feel about this Google Doc? It feels very insincere. And I don't know. I think doing an apology for stuff like this on a Google Doc is probably the worst way to do it. Doing it individually with the people you've wronged is probably the best way to do it. But it's done now. What else are we going to do? Anybody have any thoughts before we sign off for the night? Because I am tired and we've been at it for over 2 hours now. Have I gone over enough of this for you people? If you guys want more data on this, Cope and Seed did several streams. Yin did. Himpleton's done it. There's plenty of it. Okay. Okay, Ace. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. All right. All right. All right, buddy. Let's see. I'm gonna hop in my server. I'm gonna hop in my server in my office. And you can come fight me IRL. Little gay boy. Monstrous for $5. Don't worry, me and all of my 435 and 62,000 messages will be here waiting for both Fouchi and Cloudy to return. True.
Yeah, you're scared of me, buddy. You're really fucking scared of me. Okay.
Care to quantify that?
Yeah, care to quantify? Yeah. Yeah. I'm the alpha dog now, okay, buddy? Coward.
You're the alpha dog now, huh?
Yeah.
Do you know what an alpha dog does?
Wins.
No, actually, they tend to take care of other things. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm going to take care of you, Gramps.
You're nature's nanny.
No!
God, that was a visceral no. What the heck?
Because I don't want to be a granny.
Too late. You said you're the alpha. The alpha is what takes care of others. It's not about some lone individual out there that's stronger and more powerful.
I am,
Womp womp.
though. I am. That is literally me. Okay, that is...
Compared to what?
Like, you know, like He-Man? Like, when he picks up the swords and I have the power, that's kind of like me. And as we know, He-Man would own Lion-O in a fight, so...
You know, it's kind of hard to rage bait me when I know you have no clue what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. I saw a death battle.
You mean a death battle that claimed He-Man was 7 feet tall and the Battle Cat was part dragon?
Yeah.
You know, I actually have a little bit of a fun story about that. Way back in the day, Ben, one of the guys on Death Battle, his page was like a fan page, or not a fan page. It was a public page on Facebook, and I asked him for that Death Battle. I'm like, you guys do realize you missed the fact that the Sword of Omens has the ability to override and turn over other forms of magic, which kind of handicaps He-Man completely in this. And he responded with, well, we didn't have time to go through all, 192 episodes of the cartoon and all that. Of course, now I can't find that anymore because he converted his page to a fan page years ago. But I'm very well aware of that Death Battle, and it does suck.
No, I mean, I will say, right, even though I agree with the winner, Kenshiro versus Jotaro's, research was just, mad insanely, inaccurate. because like they try to say like Kenshiro's like strongest feat was like tanking like 1,000 megatons of TNT or whatever just because a building fell on him in like a filler episode, when if you actually like read like the manga, he survived like way stronger hits. And they try to say that like Jotaro's like stand was really strong because it broke diamond, and they found like this fake crushing diamond video. It's like, well, as you can see, it takes like 6,000 megatons of TNT to break diamond. It's like, no, it doesn't. No. Look, I agree with Kenshiro winning, but the research for it just made it look like Jotaro had the upper hand. But yeah. So, buddy.
Uh-huh.
How are you feeling right now, dude? You know,
tired because
after all the sweeping.
it's like 10:45 at night.
Yeah, you know, all the sweeping's done. You know, you kind of just are looking off into the distance, looking into the sunset. You know that image where it's like, you know, all the regular show characters and it's just like all the graveyards and it's just Skips left. That's like you right now.
More like that's your friend group right now.
Gulps.
Looking off in the distance, huh?
Yeah.
Is the game dragging on? Are there strikes on the batter and the runners are on?
Yeah.
Is suddenly everybody looking at me? You don't even know what I'm referring to. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. I'm older than you. It's okay, son.
Sure you are, buddy. Sure you are.
Dude. Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, on topic, this is just all really disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, I've said that before, and it's just, like I said, like, you would think the people that would criticize the same thing of other people would know a thing or two. Like, if these were just normies and they did this, I could probably be a bit more forgiving. But these are people who existed in the drama space, right? And they're doing the same thing that they've called other people out for, and it's just really, really disappointing.
Yeah, it is. Real quick, Liquid Cloudy for $2. Are you talking about me? No, I am not. And also, is that Australian money? You from down under?
Not Liquid Cloudy.
I am actually just tired, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'm going to hop out of the chat. I will catch you all later. I'm sorry, Ace, but you're never going to out-alpha me, buddy. You're never going to out-alpha me.
No, you see, it's time for the rise of the new king, okay? And I'm going to take that role, okay?
Calm down there, Jar.
Long live the king.
Oh my God. That's it for tonight. Good night, everybody.
Don't miss the super androids that fly on wings of silver and fight with nerves of steel. The mighty Silver Hawks.
Afternoons at 4.
Thundercats! Ho! Thunder excitement is flying at you this fall when the Thundercats tear into action.
Let's cut those mutants down to size.
Get ready to strike a blow for justice this fall with the mighty Thundercats.
Lupin! That man is a notorious thief who works all over the world!
Let's go meet this treasure that's soon to be ours.
Don't say that I didn't warn you.
You can't fool me! You're planning something again!
Jeez, Pops, can't get anything past you.
He'll steal your heart, and then he's coming for everything else. Lupin the Third, premiering next Saturday night at 2.
Take it off.
That'll be my pleasure!
Only Tsunami on a...
ビーストウォーズセカンド最大の敵がついに目覚めたライオコンボイ変身新司令官の登場だガルバトロントランスフォーム破壊大帝驚異の三段変形ライオン台風史上最大の対決に君も参加せよだからトランスフォーマービーストウォーズ
If one is born a man, at least once in his life, he will dream of becoming the strongest man alive.
Are you surprised at all? This is Orochi-style karate.
That's it, baby. Come straight for me.
Your training has paid off most impressively. I'd be happy to reward you now for all the progress you've made.
He could never recall
What an adorable little playground you have here.
Maki the Grappler.
You have accessed the secret files of the SWAT Cats. Name, automatic cement launcher. Function, launches pre-mixed fast-drying cement at the rate of 5,000 GPM, glots per minute. Very effective at freezing monsters right in their tracks. Ending transmission. You have accessed the secret files of the SWAT Cats. Name, Jake Clausen. Occupation, garage mechanic. Alias, Razor. Real job, SWAT Cat. Designs gadgets to capture bad guys. Goal, protection of Mega Cat City. Favorite expression, bingo. Ending transmission.
Meet St. Canard's Most Wanted.
Eat wanted, Starkling!
There's Megavolt, criminal circuit breaker.
It's playtime!
Quacker Jack, fiendish felon. Bushroot, experiment gone haywire.
I'm really not sinister, just misunderstood.
And diabolical evildoer, Nega Duck.
A rotten kind of guy!
And only one superhero can stop them.
The original, Mr. Fix-It! Get up!
Darkwing Duck.
Boing.
A new Optimus Prime is here.
I'll transform Optimus! Power Master Optimus Prime, greatest leader of his time.
It's great to be back.
Now, Optimus Prime is back as a Power Master. He only transforms when his Nebulon becomes his engine.
Power Master Optimus Prime. Look, Optimus is transforming into a super robot. Power Master Transformers. They've got the power to surprise.
The earth lies shattered and broken. A ruined wasteland that is now struggling to sustain life. Humanity is near the end after a devastating global meltdown. The oceans have been boiled away in nuclear fire. The land is charred and disfigured, saturated with deadly toxins. Life is a nightmarish struggle. The radiation levels have created hideous, mutated human savages. Mentally deranged, they roam in search of food and water. Gruesome violence brings terrible death to those who encounter these murderous mutants. It is an orgy of chaos, madness on a global scale. Savagery knows no limits. There are no nations, no laws, no order. In this grim reality, the forces of good and evil are once more preparing to fight for the future of mankind. Far, far away, a star shines out from the blackness of space. A beacon for the lost, a symbol of hope, an unfailing comfort to those on a journey. Known as the North Star, it has, through the ages, meant many things to many men. Under this eternal light walks the namesake of this star, a man of power and purity. A living beacon of hope, destined to bring light into the darkness. He is a feared man, spoken of in hushed tones. A legendary fighter, able to call on secret powers. Violence is met with worse violence as Ken destroys the forces of his evil half-brother. Heads roll, bodies fall, and the earth runs red as Ken draws ever nearer to Shin's stronghold in the city of the Southern Cross. The scene is set for an epic struggle between good and evil. What Shin started cannot be stopped. Many will die trying. Many will run. But there is only one Fist of the North Star.